Manchester City win by 3-2 in Belgrade. From Belgrade to Edgeley Park we go. Stockport County taking on Aldershot in the second round of the FA Cup. It's replay time. The winners will face West Bromwich Albion in the third round at the Hawthorns. Alex Whittington, your commentator. Steve O'Halloran is the former county player alongside him for this one on Total Sport. It's a strong lineup, Steve, from Stockport County. It's about as strong as they can go tonight.
Yeah, I think it's a statement from Dave Challoner tonight of how important this night is. You know, it's a big tie, possibly at the Hawthorns for the winner, so I think that just shows the intent of Stockport County tonight going into this tie.
Where do you see Callum Camps fitting in? He's come in, obviously, for Anthony Sarcevic.
Yeah, you know, Sarcevic is a big loss. You know, I've watched them this season, and you know, obviously the names like Olafe, names like Louis Barry, they were banging the goals in, but I think Sarcevic was instrumental in that, which they'll miss him. But Callum Camps has been brilliant. You know, I watched him last season, slid straight back into the team when needed, and I think, you know, he's got that experience as well, so he won't be fazed by coming in tonight and obviously staking a claim into this team tonight.
So Stockport County hoping to avoid the upset this evening. They host National League side Aldershot at Edgeley Park. The League 2 side with ambitions of getting into League 1 next season will also have ambitions of making the third round of the FA Cup. It's live on 95.1 FM and the BBC Sport website and app wherever you are in the UK this evening. Also available on BBC 5 Sports Extra, as we welcome listeners from 5 Sports Extra to our coverage here on BBC Radio Manchester. Former Stockport player Steve O'Halloran is alongside Alex Whittington.
Yes, good evening. Thank you very much, Mike. 10 days then after their entertaining draw in Hampshire, Stockport County and Aldershot Town must go again for a place in the FA Cup third round. The prize tonight, that trip to the Hawthorns in January. County were knocked out at that stage by Walsall last season. The Shots haven't reached the third round in a decade, but the National League side have already claimed a League 2 scalp in Swindon in the first round. Can they spring a surprise on the League 2 leaders? The players are out, just taking their position in front of a half full, I'd say, Edgeley Park at the moment. We're led to believe around about 6,000 tickets have been sold. The Aldershot fans on the far side in the Together family stand, packed in tightly in their left-hand corner. Alongside me is the former Hatter Steve O'Halloran. We'll get his thoughts in just a second, but let's run you through then the two teams for this evening. As we've mentioned, Dave Challoner, the Stockport County boss, going as strong as he possibly can. Just Anthony Sarcevic missing from their 1-1 draw at Morecambe on Saturday. That is a major blow for the Hatters. He'll be out for 2 months with a tweak to his knee, so they line up with the back four of Hinchliffe in goal, Southam Hales, Horsford, Pye and Torrey. As we're underway then in the FA Cup second round replay at Edgeley Park. 2-2 it was in the first game between these two sides. West Brom waits in the third round. So a diamond midfield then for Stockport County with Crowsdale, Holding and Camps, Bailey, Madden and Olafe alongside Carl Wotton up top. The ball then in the middle of the park with Crowsdale, who plays it back to his centre-back Fraser Horsford, squares it on the edge of the Stockport box to Ethan Pye, who takes a touch and goes all the way back to Ben Hinchliffe then. So for the visitors, the National League side, Aldershot Town, key men Josh Stokes and Jack Barham return from Saturday's penalty shootout win over Eastleigh in the FA Trophy. They replace Joe Hay and Kwame Thomas. So the visitors will be a back three with Van Stappertorff in goals, then Rowe, Harries, Harfield, Minoga wide right, Glover wide left, a midfield two of Frost and Willard, Stokes behind Barham and Tolaj up top. As the ball is with Tanto Olafe on the edge of the box, a shot blazed over there by Wotton. The first chance of the game comes just inside the first minute, and it is the right boot of Carl Wotton who sends it over the crossbar and out into the railway end. The first chance then, a minute on the clock, goalless between these two. Let's bring in them for the first time tonight, Steve O'Halloran. Steve.
Thanks for having me, Alex. Now that would have been a dream start there for Stockport. Played very well actually in the build up to that. They look very comfortable starting off in this diamond formation, like you said. Great shot from Wotton just off the bar, so a nice early start, and for the fans that are here tonight, they'll be excited about that.
It is an early sighter for last year's top goal scorer Carl Wootton, who's missed much of this season through injury, but since he's returned for Dave Chandler's side, he's picked up where he left off at the back end of last year. 4 goals in the last 8 appearances in all competitions. So Stockport in their blue shirts, white shorts and blue socks up against Aldershot, who are in almost the Stockport County away strip for those Hatters fans. It's a white with blue stripes down the front, black shorts and white socks, as Ibutori takes the ball into the middle of the park. He's being harried by Minoga, plays it back to Ethan Pye now. Coming forward, the tall figure of Pye on his left foot, can't find Camps on the left touchline, and it's intercepted by Minoga, who goes all the way back to the orange booted Van Stappershof in the goals. His kick is long and headed clear by Fraser Horsfall. So Anthony Sarcevic then, Steve, we met how big a miss is he going to be for Stockport tonight and for the next 2 months?
Yeah, and it's coming into a busy period as we know, Alex, over the Christmas and New Year, so he'll be a big loss. You know, he's been outstanding this season. You know, came in last season maybe just looking a little bit leggy, unfit, but then
now Barham comes into the box on the right hand side, shrugs off the tackles of Pye, and Torre squares it. The ball's with Frost on the edge of the box. He can't find a teammate though, and it's intercepted. But the visitors having some decent possession here. 2 minutes on the clock now, 0-0 between these two in the second round. Replay West Brom waits in the third round now, is back to goal. It is on the far side with Stokes, who got both goals in that 2-2 draw down in Hampshire 10 days ago. Southam Hales takes a heavy touch in the right back position and threads it through to Camps, who's in for Sarcevic. He chips it down the line, looking for the pace of Olafe, who's up against Harries, and the defender does well to see it out in front of the travelling Aldershot fans.
No, good sign of intent there actually from Aldershot, caught us off guard there. You know, they look dangerous in the attack there, but no, well retained from County there, and they're looking for that ball down the side for Olafe, using his pace. He's obviously in great form this season as well, so no, it's a good start from County as well.
Yeah, Tanto Olafe, 13 goals in all competitions. The cross into the box attempted by Southam Hales, a dive-in headed clear by Aldershot, and a foul be given against Croasdale midway through the Aldershot half. Free kick then to the visitors, who have already claimed that League 2 scalp of Swindon Town in the first round to get the chance of playing at Stockport after a draw in the first game between these two. It's Total Sport. We're on BBC Sport website app and also on BBC Radio 5 Sports Extra. 0-0, 5 minutes gone. Free kick to the shots will be lofted from left to right, and Minoga by the right hand byline in front of the dugouts. He's hassled by Ibutori, who does well to win the throw in right in front of his boss Dave Chandler, who's standing there. Stockport, woolly hat on his head, hands in pockets, barking instructions. Ball goes down the left hand flank for Olafe, who goes down under the challenge, but the referee says nothing given. It'll be a throw in to Aldershot on their right back position, which will be taken by Rose. So Stockport coming into this game without a win in their last 5 games in all competitions, including a 1-1 draw in horrendous conditions at the Globe Arena on Saturday afternoon against Morecambe. Paddy Madden started that one, the club captain, battling in the middle for the ball at the moment. He's on 49 goals, Steve, and a great servant to this club and many others as well, Paddy Madden.
Yeah, no, look, he's been a goal scorer everywhere he's been, Alex. You know, I think since Stockport went down actually and then started that resurgence over the last few years, he scored the most goals in that era. So, you know, it's testament to how good and how an important player he is.
And Camps now with the ball, goes for a long range effort, 25 plus yards out, palmed away by Van Steppenhof. Dive into his left hand side, a first shot which causes the keeper to have to make a smart save down to his left hand side. The ball with the aforementioned Padden, a high foot though given against him, and it'll be a free kick just outside the left hand side of the box for the visitors.
No, good sign of intent there from Stockport. We were just talking about Paddy Madden, great little turn to get the ball out of kind of like a tight area. Good little passing in between the midfielders for County. And Camps, he has that ability to step in and get a shot off. He's got a few goals already this season, so he does have that in his locker, and it was a good sign of intent from him to try and obviously get an early goal for County.
Callum Camps, 2 goals so far for Stockport County, as Steve said. He has missed, though, 18 games this season as County struggle with their injuries, as many teams clearly do at this stage of the season. Sarsvik out for 2 months. Nick Powell, the summer signing, he's close to returning, a matter of weeks away. But Will Collar out for 2 to 3 months. Miles Hippolyte has barely played this season. He's still a couple of months away as well. And then you've got Ryan Riddell, Jack Stratton out for the season, and Louis Barry, who was so bright on that 12-match winning run that Stockport County did earlier on this season, out for 4 months from October. So Steve, that can't help, can it, when you've had all those injuries and coming into this congested fixture period?
Yeah, look, as a physio now myself, I know the backroom staff are going to be kept busy, which is obviously not what the managing team want. They want to have a full selection so that they can look at the side, and if they need to make any changes, they can look at that. But at the minute, yeah, it's a big list of big players as well. When you look at last season, these were all important players that were starting nearly every week. So it's a big loss for County at the minute. But the team that they have out there at the minute, they've got a lot of experience out there. Fraser Horsfall, brilliant all season so far. Paddy Madden, obviously he's been in and out of the side this season, but he's then starting to pick up a couple of goals recently as well, and he's playing in that kind of just off the front two with Watton and Tanto Olafe, and I think he's enjoying that role, actually, just dropping off, getting the ball and trying to get everyone involved.
Being a creative is the Irishman Paddy Madden. 8 minutes on the clock here, 0-0 in the second round replay between Stockport County and Aldershot, as the ball is hit long from a Van Staffelsoft goal kick. Attempted flick on ends up being given as a free kick against Aldershot for a high boot on the chest of Fraser Horsfall. You mentioned Fraser Horsfall there, Steve. He's played every league game. He's been a constant for Stockport County. I think he's only missed 5 minutes when he was subbed off in one game in the 85th minute. But that partnership between Horsfall and the youngster Ethan Pye at the back is very impressive.
Yeah, and we were talking about this before the game. It's about having that consistency at the back. They've got Ben Hinchcliffe, who's played, I think, 350 games now. So you've got a stalwart at the back there, but then having that set up in front of Ben is so important. And Ethan has been outstanding this season. Ethan Pye, he's come in, young player, and he's looked definitely not out of place anyway in this county team.
As the ball's up the other end of the pitch now in the right wing back position with Southam House, who's taken on Glover. Down the right hand side, cross comes in, headed clear, almost falls at the foot of Wootton, and it's hooked clear in the end by the shots. The ball back in their left back position with Glover, who plays a slightly risky ball, perhaps infield, to his centre back Harries, who goes long onto the halfway line now, and Barham, who scored a hat-trick in that Swindon 7-4 win in the first round. This Aldershot front three, Steve, you've got at the top, you've got Jack Barham and Lauren Tollage as well, the Brighton summer signing, and behind them as well, Josh Stokes. Lots of goals in that front three, 12 for Stokes, 11 for Tollage, and 10 for Barham in all competitions. So these are a front three who could be dangerous to the Hatters.
Yeah, and you got to think, they're coming into this game in form. I know there's a league difference obviously in the two clubs, but those three guys are banging form, and it'll be a tough test tonight for Fraser Horsfall, Pye, and also then looking at Crowsdale, who's going to be monitoring Stokes that's just floating around in the hole there. So no, it'll be a good battle between those three. Obviously County have the quality to deal with that. They have dealt with players like that in their own league, but when you're coming against three guys that are scoring goals, it's always going to be a tough night.
Ball going long, looking for Tanto Olafe though, but he's just over his head and it's cleared by Aldershot. On the halfway line now, then the right hand side with Tollage. The ball is dispossessed by Crowsdale, who gets a right foot in to flick it to Callum Camps, who plays it back to Southam Hales now. We're on the halfway line, exchanging passes, those two, Southam Hales and Camps, and infield to Crowsdale. Southam Hales looks and goes all the way back to Ben Hinchcliffe, clad all in green in front of those County fans at the Cheadle end, and he plays it to Ethan Pye, who was Gateshead on loan last season, though he missed their Wembley final, called back in as emergency cover for his parent club, but he was their players' player as well in the non-league team, so he's really impressed, making that step up into the first team for Stockport as the ball aimlessly is cleared away for a throw-in on the left-hand touchline in front of the family stand for Stockport. So just over 10 minutes gone here, 0-0 between these two, Stockport and Aldershot. The FA Cup second round replay. West Brom, a trip to the Hawthorns, the prize for getting through today, as it's Rowe with the blonde tipped hair. Sloppy control there by Minoga means the ball goes out for a throw-in on the left-hand side of Stockport attack, and it's with Horsfall at the back, who goes to his left-hand side, and Ethan Pye. Now Hinchliffe, Stockport building slowly but content, obviously, Steve, to have that possession.
Yeah, we know they're comfortable in possession, Alex. They've this season they've had a number of options, playing it from the back. Two centre backs, like we were talking about earlier, are very comfortable on the ball. Fraser Horsfall has that diagonal if he needs it out to his full backs, but it's just looking at they're very comfortable on the ball, and that's what Dave Challoner wants. You could see him not very happy with Ben Hinchliffe when he put that one aimlessly out of play, so he'll want them to start building and then putting that pressure on Aldershot to then see about those chances coming forward.
14 minutes gone, 0-0 between these two. That Callum Camp shot, the only one on target, which forced Van Steffelshoff into a save to his left hand side as the ball's out with Ibu Toure midway through the Stockport County half for the throw-in, and he looks to Callum Camps, who's got acres of room now as he comes forward. He's got Saltham Hales his right hand side, which is where the ball is clipped now. Coming across the halfway line is the Welshman. Instead he checks inside and finds Paddy Madden in that number 10 role, coming deep, tries to repay the favour and go down the line to Saltham Hales, but it's intercepted by Aldershot, and it will be brought back to Glover, who is gloved. That's nice and easy for us, Steve. Glover's got gloves on, so that's good. That's what we simply remember.
That's got to be a fine.
Yes, he hasn't got gloves on. I've just checked there. Just checked your hands there. I do. I have got some on, so I'll be fine as well. So here we go then. It is with Willard. It goes to his left-hand side, and Glover on the far touchline. The Aldershot left as they attack now, going down the left-hand side up against Saltham Hales. Nice ball infield then to Willard, who goes past Paddy Madden, but not past Fraser Horsfall. He gets his body in the way on the edge of the box. And we have Rowe on the right for Aldershot, being held off Stokes by Callum Camps, and does nice exchange with Minoga, but can't find the ball through, and it's cleared by Ethan Pye. 0-0 between these two, 15 gone. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, no, just saying out of play there, but good covering from Ethan Pye there. I think Aldershot will be happy with the start here, Alex. Obviously they've had an early shot from wanting to hit the bar and just clip the top of the bar, but besides that, yes, County have been comfortable in possession, but not showing any really kind of goal threat over the last kind of 15 minutes. So I think of the two managers, I think we'd be looking at Tommy Witherington. He'd be the happier of the two.
Yeah, and will indeed, especially as a cross just comes scything across the box by Josh Stokes and has to be turned behind by Saltham Hales for the first corner of the game. It goes the way of the visitors, the National League side, and it is Glover who will take it. Right foot on the far side, goes short and receives it back again, looking for that dinked ball into the box. Here it comes, headed clear by Wootton, who's tracking back, and the ball now with Ibu Toure, who brings it forward and returns it. Lovely ball inside to Wootton, but he can't quite bring it under control, and Aldershot will build again. In fact, they chip it forward, looking for the target man, Tollage, who's alongside Jack Barham up top. And now the ball given against Carl Wootton, much to the angst of the Stockport fans, just out muscling there Minoga on the halfway line.
Yeah, not normally like Carl Wootton. He had two chances there to get the ball under control and make something happen, but no, he was poor there from his touch point of view. But again, still early days.
Yeah, 16 and a bit minutes on the clock. Goalless between these two. Paddy Manning clapping his hands together, trying to G up the Stockport County teammates. Ethan Pye's got the ball left hand side of the box as Stockport County attack to Ibu Toure, now back with Ethan Pye. 3-2 Manchester City. The youngsters of Manchester City won at Red Star Belgrade in your commentary match earlier on. We'll get reaction at half time to that one, hopefully hear from Pep Guardiola. Van Stappersforth then with the ball at his feet, lofts it, looking for the heads of his teammate, and it's adjudged to give out for an Aldershot throw. And then on the near side in front of their dugout, Minoga gives it back to Rowe then. So 0-0 between these two. 17 and a bit minutes on the clock. Total Sports, 5 Sports Extra, and also the BBC Sports website and app. FA Cup second round replay. West Brom waits in the third round. Stokes gets the deflected ball into Talaj. He tries to turn Horsfall nicely. Does the big number 9, lays it into the path of Frost, who drills the left-footed shot from outside the box, comfortably though into the hands of Ben Hinchliffe. But a first sighter for the shots.
Yeah, no, well played as well. I don't see Fraser Horsfall getting turned that easily, when I've seen him play this season. But he was muscled off the ball there and makes a big opening then for Aldershot to get that early chance in. So yeah, no, a sign of intent from Aldershot. I think County are still comfortable with Paddy Madden on the ball now in the out wide.
And Paddy Madden goes past Rowe with ease, tries to pass it into the box. It was underhit the pass. It was looking for Carl Wootton. He was lurking on the edge of the 6-yard box, and Aldershot nicely playing it out from the back in a triangle manoeuvre, which ends up with Minoga coming past the halfway line. But his ball, though, infield, attempting to find Tolaj, is intercepted by Crowsdale. Two teams here who aren't afraid to play football, are they, Steve? Aldershot definitely, you couldn't really tell that they are a league below at this stage.
No, they're passing it around well, but just coming back to the attack there, I think Paddy Madden, he done so well to get past his man, and it's just looking at getting it across the box. Obviously, if he was the striker on the end of that, he'd want that fizzed across, and he just tried a little cheeky cut back, didn't work out. But again, getting into the right positions, it's been a slow build up so far, looking for somebody maybe to get on the ball and make something happen now.
Yeah, Paddy Madden playing behind the front two of Wootton and Olafi. Tanto Olafi's been so successful this season for Stockport County after signing last January from Millwall. So Aldershot then with Glover on the far side there, left attacking, jinking inside, taking on Salem Howes, lays it back to Willard, who plays it to Frost now. Drilled ball wide to Minoga, who's bombing forward on the right hand side every opportunity he gets. Exchanges it inside, and a dummy through ball now with Tollish. Goes back to goal, tries to play in round the corner. There was Willard, and it was needed Southam Hales to get back and slide and clear the ball for Stockport County. But another chance for the away side.
Yeah, again, it was. I must have jinxed Horsfall there. That's the second time now he's just got turned. He has to watch that left foot turn inside there from Tolaj, and then great covering from the fullback there out for Southam Hales. Got across his man, defended very well.
Barcelona a goal down at Royal Antwerp in the 8 o'clock kickoffs in the Champions League. Early Manchester City won 3-2 at Red Star Belgrade with 20 minutes on the clock here between Stockport 0, Aldershot 0, and County again give the ball away towards the edge of the Aldershot box, and a foul is given against Carl Wootton on centre-back Rose. The other scores currently then in the Champions League, well, these all 8 o'clock kickoffs. As I said, Royal Antwerp 1, Barcelona 0, Atletico Madrid goalless with Lazio, Celtic goalless with Feyenoord, Dortmund 0, PSG 0, Porto 0, Shakhtar Donetsk 0, and Newcastle 0, AC Milan 0. Earlier, apart from the City result, RB Leipzig beat Young Boys 2-1. So just over 20 minutes then, goalless between these two. Van Stappershoff has the ball on the right hand side of his box, ready to send this free kick long, looking for Tolaj and Barham up top, and it's going to be the latter who struggles to challenge with Horsfall. Comfortably wins that header into the feet of Paddy Madden, and now Ibu Toure near side the Stockport left comes across the halfway line. He's got Bailey to his left hand side, he's got Madden inside. Few players trying to offer him some options, and instead he dinks it infield to Bailey, who's got his back to goal and was coming away from goal and ran into the tall figure of Lauren Tolaj, and Camps gives the ball away, so gives a foul away just inside the Aldershot half, and there's some sloppy play there by County, Steve.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking for a little bit more kind of energy from County, especially down this left hand side. We're looking at obviously Ibu Toure and looking at Bailey. can they just get a little bit of 1-2s going down this left side, a bit more energy?
Oh, now Willard turns, lovely. The ball played back into the middle and it comes off Ben Hinchliffe in the end. A shot come in from Willard on his right foot. County cut apart there really easily down the left-hand side. Ball played in. It was Willard who got the right boot of it, side-footed it. It ends up coming off the chest of Hinchliffe and away.
Great play from Aldershot. Look, they look the better of the two teams at the minute, to be honest. They've had the chance down the left and quick corner there. And
again, the cross comes into the box, and it is Tolaj who heads it behind him, trying to get onto the end of that cross. And Harries now has the ball. So yeah, Aldershot looking really decent here in the 22nd minute. It is 0-0 between these two on Total Sport, on 5 Sports Extra and the BBC Sport website and app. And I don't know how much Hinchliffe really knew about that shot in the end, Steve. It just seemed to rebound off him.
No, he was just in the right place at the right time there. It was a fantastic cutback pot shot there from about 6 yards, and Ben Hinchliffe just stood his ground and probably lucky enough that it came straight at him. If he mishit it, it probably went into the back of the net for Aldershot.
And the success for the shots is coming down that left from Willard and from Glover. They are causing Southam Hales some problems. Southam Hales, who has been as an ever constant for Stockport County this season, as Atletico Madrid take the lead 1-0 against Lazio in the Champions League. Here it's the FA Cup second round replay between Stockport and Aldershot goalless, as Aldershot again with possession. The offside flag though is given up against Barham. Yeah, it is the, obviously they've got, I listened to Tommy Widgington beforehand, Steve, the Aldershot manager, and he was saying obviously they didn't have anything, got nothing to lose there. This is a free hit for them.
Yeah, we were talking about it before the game. When I was playing, it was, if you're the underdog and you're the teams that are a couple of leagues below, you've got nothing to lose. You're coming here, you're trying to showboat how good you are, and obviously in the conference they're in the playoffs, so this isn't like a team struggling. This is a team on the way up in their league.
Yeah, 6th in the table, as Steve said, in the playoffs. As ball on the right hand side, cross comes in from Southam Hales near the corner flag, headed clear though. This is the first time in 5 or 6 minutes really that Stockport have been able to have some possession in the Aldershot half, as Croasdale is really well pressurised by Stokes and ends up winning a throw in eventually on the far side.
Quite close to a foul there, but no, the referee played on, and Camp's on the ball now. But yeah, no, Stockport better down the right there. That's where they want to get players like Southam Hales into those positions, because he's got a great right foot whipping the ball in. That's what they need to get him on the ball a bit more, and Ibe on the other side.
And it is Southam Hales then on the right hand flank, exchanges passes with Paddy Madden. He dinks it to Wotton's got his back to goal on the right hand side of the box. Odin Bailey's come across to help out. He's been checked down though by Harfield. Odin Bailey struggling to try and get the ball in, goes down the right hand side, cross comes in and it is cleared out for a throw in on the right hand side there. So Odin Bailey, Salford Loney, I think there's many Stockport fans who want him to make that permanent as we enter into the January transfer window. He's looked really bright for the Hatters under Dave Challoner. Only 16 appearances in all competitions for the Ammies last season, but since he's been here he's already made 14. He's already got a goal and 3 assists, and here he is on the ball, and it is with Ibutori now. Left hand edge of the box as Stockport look to build. Camps flicks it inside to Wotton. Camps again exchanges passes round the back now. Camps, keeper comes out, Van Stappershoff out the feet of Camps, and an offside is given from that exchange. The 1-2 there with Olafe and Camps it was, and it is a free kick eventually, but almost some smart play there by Stockport.
Yeah, better spell the last 2 or 3 minutes. We were just talking about the threat down the right. Great switch of play out to Ibutori and got Callum Camps on the ball in an area that he looks like he wants to play. He's trying to get forward. Little intricate passes there with Kyle Wotton, and just short of getting in there. No, just short of getting in, but much better from County the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Porto 1, Shakhtar 0, latest in the Champions League. It's 0-0 between Stockport and Aldershot here in the FA Cup second round replay. 26 minutes already being played. Each team having a couple of chances apiece. You've had the crossbar narrowly clipped from Carl Wotton. Callum Camps as well, a shot on target, and Ben Hinchliffe's chest needed as well to keep out a shot from the visitors. Paddy Madden then inside the centre circle D in his own half. They can't find Odin Bailey. Rowe nicely steps out, but he gives the ball away now to Stockport, and it's with Southam Hales on the right hand touchline just inside his own half. Goes past one man, cuts inside. He's got Bailey to his left, he's got Camps to his right, which is where the ball goes now, and Odin Bailey flicks it out further left now, gone from right to left there. Nice play by Stockport. Ibu Tori comes back inside. It's the man at the bottom of the diamond, Crowsdale. Lovely dink ball into Camps, into the box. Camps flicks it, left-handed save needed by Van Stappershoff, just on his line. Great reflexes from the Dutch goalkeeper there. That was a real chance for Stockport County, and they've still got the ball now. Southam Hales, Wootton header, and into the arms eventually of Van Stappershoff. But a great chance there for Callum Camps and Stockport County.
Oh, what a chance, and what a ball from Crowsdale into Camps. Took it brilliantly on his chest there. Tried to find the corner because it was a bit awkward for him. Tried to find the corner, but what a save from the keeper. Nobody in for the seconds. No. Good chance for County, much better.
Yeah, big left palm needed from Van Stappershoff down to his left-hand side. The biggest chance for Stockport's Bailey goes through the legs of Minoga on the halfway line. Stockport now need to capitalise on their opportunities that they're having. 27 on the clock. The deadlock yet to be broken as Ibu Tori slides in and wins the tackle. You just sense there is a bit more urgency now from Stockport County, Steve.
Yeah, last 5 minutes has been the County that we've been watching this season, Alex. They've been playing much better on the ball, looking for those decisive passes, and again they could be one up at this stage if it wasn't for that massive save.
Harfield under no pressure just clips the ball out of play on the left hand side, so needlessly giving away possession to the home side in what is a half full, probably maybe just under half full Edgeley Park at the moment. Certainly the Cheadle end not quite as boisterous as it has been for much of this season, with Stockport County, the League 2 leaders, 6 points clear up the top. Went on that 12-match winning streak, which came to an end at Newport County a few weeks ago. Since then, they've drawn 0-0 with Salford. They've had a 2-2 draw with Aldershot 10 days ago. 2-0 defeat to Wigan in the AFL Trophy and a 1-0 draw at Morecambe. So they need really that win to try and get some momentum back into their campaign. Callum Camps, middle of the park, holds off the challenge. No, he doesn't. Well struck back by Josh Stokes, and Minoga will clip the ball forward. 0-0 between these two, 29 minutes played. Yeah,
just talking about the form there again, Alex. You know, I've seen them play in this period, which is maybe, we'll put in quotation marks, a bad period for them after you know, having 12 wins back to back. But it's just looking at, they're not playing badly. This is the thing. Dave Challoner will not be panicking coming into this busy kind of festive period. They're playing well. Yes, they're missing some players, but they just need that win maybe to then kickstart them coming into this Christmas period.
Yeah, you were at the game against Salford here, two of your former sides, and their last league home game here, Steve, as well. And that was a game certainly which I think you call one of the most entertaining goalless draws you've seen.
Yeah, you know, I came away from that game after watching it with Bill, and we were saying, like, it was such an entertaining game, and it was, if anything, it was the resolute back three of Salford that were, you know, the big winners that day. You know, Stockport had several chances. I think Nick Powell, who obviously missing as well tonight, who's a big influence and a very creative player, he could have had a hat-trick that night if it wasn't for the crossbar, and Cairns, who was outstanding that night. So, you know, they are playing well. This is the thing for county fans, they are playing well.
Yeah, that is the thing, isn't it? They are playing well. They are top of League 2. But promotion really key for them this season. They missed out a penalty kick away from going up last year, and Dave Challoner wants to make sure that automatic promotion is the aim this season. He did say in the build-up to this game that was very much the priority and not the FA Cup. But I don't know if he's sort of saying that, though, just to kind of downplay a little bit, because you want, don't you, County you want to play in the FA Cup. You want to reach West Brom in the third round and go as far as you can.
100%. You know, I think a lot of players, they love playing in the league. They love, obviously, if you're lucky enough to get promoted or win a league, it's amazing. But there is something magical about the FA Cup, you know, that you can have teams, obviously, you know, like Aldershot, you know, maybe causing an upset, but then teams like County that can go to a championship team if they win tonight, you know, so there's a lot to gain for both teams.
Stockport 2 times in their past 3 seasons reaching the third round, but no further. The last time was last year, where they lost to Walsall in late fashion 2-1 in the third round. So 0-0, 31 minutes on the clock. Earlier, Manchester City beat Red Star Belgrade 3-2 in their final Champions League group game. Van Stappershoff with the goal kick. Stockport County missing quite a few key players, including, as Steve mentioned, Nick Powell, the Manchester United wonder kid, as he was labelled back in the day. Just 9 appearances, though, for the Reds. Summer signing from Stoke City. He should be back in a couple of weeks' time. Free kick given against Aldershot inside the Stockport County half against Fraser Horsfall. As we see Tommy Widgington having a word with the fourth official, dressed very smartly, the Aldershot manager in a suit and shirt. Dave Chandler in a woolly hat and jacket, as Fraser Horsfall comes past the halfway line, dead centre of the pitch to his right hand side. And Wootton, who has come back deep, Tanto Laffey, the furthest Stockport man forwards at the moment. Callum Camps inside the centre circle. Dummies, dinks left, dinks right, plays it to his left, and Ibi Torre. Lots of room for Torre. Ball whipped into the box, headed clear though by Rowe, the second man. And it will be with Torre again, left hand side, as Stockport County attack. And they'll win a throw-in line with the centres, in line with the penalty box. Yeah,
I've just been watching there the last 5-10 minutes. As we said, County have been building a bit of momentum. You can see, like we said earlier, Torre and Southam Hales, they're getting forward a lot more. They're trying to get themselves involved in this final third. Now with Paddy Madden at the edge of the box.
And it is Paddy Madden. Wootton was calling for inside the box. Wootton comes short though on the edge of the box. Can't find his captain, and instead Aldershot will break with Frost to his left-hand side, trying to send Willard through, but great covering across by Fraser Horsfall, and it's back with Ben Hinchliffe. 33 on the clock, goalless, deadlock yet to be broken. We go all the way, of course, tonight if required. West Brom in the third round is the prize on the 7th of January, Sunday. 2 o'clock kickoff, that one at the Hawthorns. Stockport will be hoping that it will be their Blue Hatters who will be making the trip to the Midlands. Hinchliffe hits it long then to Carl Wootton inside the half for Aldershot, and the ball runs free to Paddy Madden, right hand edge of the box, attempts the cross in. Alafi was lurking, and it's needed to be put behind by Rowe for a Stockport County corner kick, their first of the game. 0-0.
Yeah, good positioning from Rowe there, because they were stretched a little bit there, Aldershot. You can see, like you said, County are getting on the ball, playing out from the back. Great play from Watton. Paddy Madden down the side, looking to get it in nice and low and hard, but no, good position from Rowe, but out for a corner now.
It is a corner to Odin Bailey, left-footed, so it'll be an in-swinger from right to left. Alafi takes up his customary position on the goalkeeper, Van Stappershoff, inside the 6-yard area. In fact, the referee is having a word with Tanto Alafi. that no misdemeanors occur. Wootton in there too, Pye, Horsfall as well. Quite a few players not in the box. In fact, they're swapping their corner taker. It was going to be Bailey. It's now going to be Callum Camps. Bailey still offers the short one, but it will be Camps who dinks it into the box, looking for Horsfall at the back. Madden rises and heads just wide of the side netting on the left of the Aldershot goal. Not on target, but almost fell to him, Steve.
Yeah, I think Paddy will be a bit disappointed with that. You know, he lost his man. It was a deep corner. Had it in the 6-yard box, get it across the goal, or make the keeper make a save there. I think disappointing from Paddy Madden there. But again, looking at Stockport over the last 15 minutes, they've been playing so much better. And you're just thinking now they're just kind of maybe grinding the game down now for Aldershot. And Aldershot are doing well to stay in this game.
10 minutes until half-time here on Total Sport, BBC 5 Sports Extra and the BBC Sport website and app. Stokes dinks the ball onto the head of Frost. He was looking for a run from Mnoga. It didn't quite come off though. Stokes, the man who got both goals in the 2-2 draw down at Aldershot, which also included an absolute thunderbolt by Neil Bird, the county centre-back, who is amongst the subs on the bench tonight.
Thunderbolt from Neil. Love that. No, he'll be happy with that. No,
not a bad way for him to bring up his first county goal either.
And what a goal! What a goal! No, it was a great goal. But no, coming back to what we were talking about with County starting to build a bit of momentum, they do have to, like we were talking about with the front three of Aldershot, be aware of the counter attack, because there's players up there that can get goals for Aldershot. So it's definitely something to be aware of as County are building in this game.
On the halfway line now, Wotton, who plays it back to Camps. He goes for the right hand side looking for Salem Hales, though that doesn't quite come off that pass. 0-0 between these two. Free kick given for Aldershot on the left hand side, right on the touchline, midway through the Stockport County half. So chance to get the bodies into the box perhaps for the shots. Yeah, you mentioned, Steve, that front three, Stokes playing in the 10 behind Lauren Tollage and Jack Barham as well. Plenty of goals, as we mentioned, between those players as well. Jack Barham scored with his first touch as he came off the bench against Eastleigh on Saturday for Aldershot in the FA Trophy. They won that 5-4 on penalties, and it was Barham who converted the winning penalty as well. So he's full of confidence with a hat-trick in their first round win against Swindon 2. So free kick then for Stockport, for Aldershot. Stockport taking up a line on the edge of the box, tried to go down the line, didn't quite fall though. This one might though. Frost enters the box, plays it into Stokes, who swivels just inside the box and half mishits his shot into the hands of Hinchliffe. And another half chance perhaps there for Aldershot, Steve.
Yeah, I was a bit wondering what was happening there, because they've got some big players and they were trying to play it short, but a chance nearly came from it at the edge of the box. Again, mishit his shot, but again, County just need to be aware of this threat that Aldershot might have on the counter attack and from set plays.
Harries with the ball back to Van Stappershoff, the keeper, who goes long looking for Glover. 0-0 then between these two. The FA Cup second round referee does eventually give a free kick against Aldershot inside their own half. It's a chance now for Stockport then to throw the bodies forward. We see the centre-back partnership of Horsfall and Pye making their way up in front of the railway end.
Yeah, there's some good battles here, aerial battles. I'm just looking at the defenders for Aldershot. Rose, very tall, so it's looking at him and Watton will be having a good battle there. Fraser Horsfall's always a threat on these, so it's just looking at County loading the box here.
Yeah, Fraser Horsfall there, Pye too as well. Horsfall could be at the back
very
post.
High line as well.
It is a high line, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. Well outside the penalty area, as goes short to County. It's inside the penalty area to Olafe on the right hand edge. He's got Crowsdale behind him. Crowsdale goes for a drilled in shot cross, which is headed clear by Aldershot, and now perhaps a chance for them to break as Tollage gets the ball pounding forward across the halfway line. He's got options either side of him, though he can't quite find his teammates and his fellow strike partner Barham, and Stockport will win eventually a throw in on the right hand side.
Yeah, I think it was actually the right decision. We were just mentioning it, the high line there from Aldershot, which is very brave, and they were taking a chance there, but they tried to play it down the side. Brave header from the Aldershot defenders there to clear from Crowsdale's kind of cross shot.
6 minutes left of the first half, goalless between Stockport and Aldershot. FA Cup second round replay. Odin Bailey with the ball, exchanges passes with Camps, doesn't quite come off though, and Minoga comes across and will clear for Aldershot, only as far as Camps, who hooks it on his right hand foot, edge of the box, round about 28-30 yards out, plays it to Southam Hales on his right hand side, who puts his foot on the ball and looks for the options. He goes down the line now to Wotton, exchanges passes with Southam Hales onto his left foot, ball whipped into the box, flicked on, headed by Laffey.
Offside.
But the flag has indeed gone up. Stockport County almost thought they'd got the first goal of this game, but the linesman's flag came up nice and early, straight into an offside position. Tanto Olafe.
Oh, unlucky Tanto Olafe. What a header. Lovely little flick header after Southam Hales cut back onto his left foot, and then a great in-swinging ball. Tanto Olafe took a great header, bottom corner, but just straight offside, which is frustrating for County. Thought it was 1-0, flag ruled it out.
Yeah, it was a nice glanced header by County's top goal scorer this season, Tanto Olafe, but straight away the linesman's flag going up. And it is a goal kick to the visitors, who are holding Stockport here, goalless between these two with 5 minutes left of the first half. How do you think Stockport then can get more success, or get some success, Steve?
I think the way they've been playing they're playing well, but to be fair, like we were saying, credit to Aldershot, they're standing up to them. It's looking at, can they continue to grind them down? That's the big question now for county fans. Can they county players continue to try and press and work the ratios to then finish one of these chances?
And they're pressing now with Ibu Torre again coming forward from left back, plays it to teammate Odin Bailey, former Salford teammates of course last season. Bailey and Torre, Camps down the left now to Torre, ball whipped into the box, there's Wootton, edge of the 6-yard area, fires it straight into the defender who gets a block, and it almost opened up there for Carl Wootton. Plenty of space there to pick his spot, but it was blocked there by Harfield, the Aldershot defender, and Torre ball whipped in, but it's cleared though by Aldershot, and Torre will concede a free kick on Willard, who went down quite easily under the challenge on the left hand side of Aldershot's box, but almost opened up there, Steve, for Carl Wootton.
Yeah, what a block from the Aldershot defence there. Again, great ball in from Ibu Torre, who we've been saying is a threat. Finally gets a good ball into Wootton, and then it just a brave block then from the Aldershot defence there to stop Carl Wootton, which looked like it was goal bound.
Yeah, certainly did. As it was, it's still 0-0 as we approach the half-hour mark on BBC Radio Manchester, Total Sport, 5 Sports Extra, and the BBC Sport website and app. Van Stappershoff goes long, ducks header by Ibu Torre. Is there a goal here before the break? And Stockport as well, Steve, will want to get the job done as quickly and as early, really, as they can possibly do so, as Bailey almost is sent through on goal on the left hand side, but Harries again, who's having a good game so far, comes across and clears. And there are 2 balls on the pitch, so we'll resume play very shortly with a throw in for Stockport.
Just coming back to what you were saying, I think if County can get this opening goal, it's an uphill battle then for Aldershot. So looking at the way they're playing at the minute down this left side, they're getting a lot more joy.
Paddy Madden almost pounced on the cross into the box from Torre, which bounced clear of the defender, but keeper Van Stappershoff comes out and manages to claim it. And now it's with Glover, floppy haired, coming in front of his face, plays it infield to Frost, further right on the touchline to Minoga, and Frost tried to slide it into Barham but couldn't find him, instead found the left boot of Ethan Pye, but Stockport
a bit sloppy there from Crowsdale, out of play now for Aldershot.
Throw in to the shots on the right hand side, almost in line with the edge of the penalty box. Minoga prepares to take it. Nearing the end of the first half, into the final 60 seconds plus whatever is added on. Minoga, Barham goes for a dinks dummy run, instead he tries to find Frost, but it'll be cleared by Odin Bailey, tracking back, and a sliced from Harries almost puts Carl Wootton through on the halfway line, but Harfield does well to come across and clear it for Aldershot, the visitors, the National League side, who are holding Stockport 0-0 as Minoga's needed a great tackle by Ibu Torre on the edge of the box, came out, slid at his feet and won the challenge, committed himself there, Steve, otherwise the right back was through. I'm
quite proud of that as a left centre half and a left back. That was a great tackle, proper FA Cup tackle if you want to ask it.
But the ball now with Tolaj, left hand side of the penalty area, goes to the cross in over the heads of Barham, and Torre will have to collect it, but the Stockport faithful trying to rally round their side here as we enter, the clock ticks past the 45 minute here.
Great ball
through by Torre to Alafe, who again though didn't quite beat the offside trap. It is a high line by Aldershot here, they are living dangerously, but so far it is working for the visitors.
It'd be interesting to see that back. It was very, very tight, I think. Alafe made a great run. Ibu Torre now just down, actually, is he, after injuring himself from that tackle there a minute ago, but put a great ball in for Alafe. I say he was very tight on that line there, kind of, like we said, being brave from Aldershot, keeping this high line, but are they living on the edge?
Torre down, he's now up though, just looking at his right knee I think there, and what Stockport County really don't want is some more injuries to add to their ever-growing treatment table for the Hatters. Sarcevic, the latest, injured, tweaked his knee in an innocuous challenge on Saturday at Morecambe, but Torre is back up 1-1. Shakhtar have equalised at Porto in the Champions League. Those games getting underway at 8 o'clock. And the referee, no added on time in the first half, then blows his whistle. 45 minutes gone, then all square between Stockport County, the League 2 leaders, and Aldershot Town, the National League side. Both teams coming into this one obviously searching for that win to get them into West Brom. They are stalemates at half-time. Callum Camps had a shot on target in the 6th minute. Minutes after, Carl Wotton put one just over. Tanto Laffy had the ball in the back of the net on the 40-minute mark, but it was correctly flagged for offside. So at the break then, it's 0-0.
Organised Aldershot, Steve O'Halloran, or disappointing Stockport?
Oh, you know what? We'll have to give credit to Aldershot because they've actually played quite well. But it's just looking at the last kind of 10 minutes there, you got to see that County were coming into their own a lot better down the left-hand side. Couple of chances when you're looking at Kyle Wotton, the shot from Camps, and of course that disallowed goal, which I thought was in. But again, I don't have the luxury of seeing the replay. But much better last 10 minutes. I think overall Aldershot will be the happier of the two sides, though.
So what does Dave Challoner have to change at half-time then?
Well, it's just looking at, if you're reflecting on the last, 10 minutes there, County were well on top, so he'll be just urging his players for more of that. And can they go up a level? Because they do have another gear in them. It was a lot better down this left-hand side, like I was saying. Callum Camps, Bailey and Torre were, they were linking up very well, and it's getting more and more balls into the box in these dangerous areas. And is it just going to be looking at the ratios then of one of them landing for County?
We haven't seen that too much, have we, Steve? Those balls into the box. It was something we didn't see enough of, I think, at Morecambe on Saturday. Yes, the conditions there were terrible, but County perhaps tried to be too clever, get the balls into the box, utilise that height and that strength of Carl Wotton. And that's how County can find success.
Yeah, and look at the goal that was disallowed. It was a cut back from Southam Hales onto his left foot, whipped in swinging ball, and it was a great finish from Tanto Laffy, obviously just offside. So again, loading the box is a good tactic for County at this stage, and then looking for the intricate work around the edge of the box as well to get those shots off.
Callum Camps is kind of the instigator of a lot of these moves here, isn't he? Is it a case of get him on the ball more in the second half?
Yeah, no, I've enjoyed watching him. He's grown into this game, whether it was just a bit of rustiness at the start of the half, but he's definitely grown into the game as it gone on. He got a great pot shot early on, but the last kind of 10-15 minutes he was instrumental in a lot of County's work, especially down this left-hand side, working with Torre, working with Bailey, and he, like we said earlier, he does have a shot in him as well. So it's not to give him too much space for the Aldershot defence.
It seems like half-time has come at the wrong time for Stockport with the momentum they were building, and the right time for Aldershot, because they'll be managing this game in chunks, won't they? Get to 10 minutes, don't concede, get to 20, don't concede, get to half-time, don't concede, and see if they can perhaps nick it late on. So when you look at the two dressing rooms now, Steve, I'm sure you've been in this situation on both sides of the fence. So Stockport, I guess, will want a quick start to the second half now?
Yeah, that's what Dave Challoner will be looking at the first 10 minutes to see if they can go up a gear. If not, he'll be looking at some changes after that, then just to shuffle the pack and see who can then step up and then take a hold of this game. So I think we should be expecting anyway a fast start from County, and then for Aldershot it's kind of more the same. Be resolute, look at the threat up front. You've got three players up front with lots of goals in them. They've had a couple of half chances as well. They had Ben Hinchcliffe had to make a great save that he didn't know too much about because of the threat of the three guys up front.
I think they've got to come in quickly, Mike, really, in this second half, because looking at the bench, obviously it is early days to be speaking, but basically all their attackers really are on the pitch at the moment. That front three of Madden, Olafi and Wotton. Otherwise we're looking at, Noyle, obviously you've got the wing back as well of Richardson as well, but otherwise really it's centre-backs and central midfielders. So anything that happens really for County has got to happen as soon as they possibly can, because their main threats and their main options are on the pitch.
Yeah, such is their injury problems at the moment. So flip that round, you're in the Aldershot camp now, Stephen. Is that what now? Your next time management is get it to the hour mark?
Yeah, 100%. You know, you're just going in stages now, so it's just, you know, you're expecting County to come out quick for the first 10-15 minutes, and you know, if you're looking at the Aldershot manager, he'll be just trying to keep his players calm. He'll be looking at more the same from his players, and not to get kind of wasteful in possession. You know, they had some really good possession in the first period of the game, but then they were a little bit kind of sloppy towards the end of the half, which gave County the openings, it gave County the chances. So he'd be looking at, when they do get the ball back, to retain it and use it wisely.
Some of your tweets coming in. Liam says, a dull evening as predicted, a shame as this is a good opportunity to put an end to our recent blip. Jack says that goal was never offside, feel as though the breakthrough before half time would have opened the floodgates. And Phil says not so magic in the cup. Keep your thoughts coming on X at BBC RM Sport. I think that's the point, isn't it? Tonight is all about trying to end that recent blip, Stephen, and you know, I think many were probably hoping for, you know, 4 or 5 goals against National League opposition, but they've held their own so far. Yeah, no, and it's credit to Aldershot. They have held their own, but again, you just felt there the last 10-15 minutes of the game that County were building. You know, they need a good start to this second half, and if they do get an early goal, then you're thinking, right, will the floodgates open after that? Stephen, Alex, for now, thank you very much. The gents will be back for second half coverage on BBC Radio Manchester and BBC 5 Sports Extra of at half time in the FA Cup second round replay. Stockport County 0, Aldershot 0. The winner has the opportunity to take on West Brom at the Hawthorns in round 3.
Total Sport. BBC Radio Manchester.
Let's just fill you in with what's happening elsewhere in the Champions League. Then live scores. These are all 8 o'clock kickoffs. Antwerp took the lead but have just been pegged back by Barcelona. So 1-1 in that game. Atletico Madrid lead Lazio by a goal to 0. That in their group will mean that Atletico Madrid do win the group. Lazio already guaranteed a place in the next round. It's just deciding who wins the group, who finishes runners-up. Celtic lead Feyenoord by a goal to 0. That's also in that Atletico-Lazio group. Celtic cannot go any further in Europe this season. Feyenoord already guaranteed a spot in the Europa League next campaign. But all eyes, of course, are on the Newcastle group. What's happening there? The scores are as follows. Newcastle 1, AC Milan 0. They have, not long ago, just scored. Joe Linton's got a big goal at St James's Park. It is Dortmund 0, PSG 0 in the other game in that group. What that means at the moment, as it stands, is Newcastle go into the last 16 of the Champions League. They need it to stay that way, though. They need or Dortmund to score. 0-0 Dortmund against PSG at the moment. Also Porto 1. Shakhtar Donetsk 1 in a very tight group. 3 teams could possibly qualify for the last 16. Barcelona, Porto and Shakhtar at the moment. Barcelona top on 13 points with that equalising goal at Antwerp. Porto in second on the head-to-head record. Shakhtar Donetsk will be third, and in the Europa League. So that's what's happening in the Champions League. In the Championship, half times across these games: Cardiff 0, Birmingham 1, Coventry 0, Southampton 0. Leicester trail Millwall by a goal to 0. That's the league leaders, Leicester. Norwich 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1, and QPR and Plymouth 0-0 at half time. Plymouth are down to 10 in that game. Middlesbrough in an 8 o'clock kickoff are leading Hull by a goal to 0. Earlier tonight in the Champions League, Manchester City made it 6 wins from 6 in the group stages. They beat Red Star Belgrade. This is how it happened.
Total Sport.
Action replay.
BBC Radio Manchester.
It's just flicked out to the right-hand side. Micah Hamilton's into the penalty area here. The angle will narrow for him, but he goes for goal, and he scores on his debut for Manchester City. There's no finer way to introduce yourself than with a goal. And 19-year-old Crumpsall-born Micah Hamilton is the man to do that. Rico Lewis forward. Oscar Bob to his right-hand side. The Norwegian now charges towards the penalty area. Still going Oscar Bob into the box. Left-footed low shot. That's 2-0. And Oscar Bob gets his first professional goal for Manchester City. Might not be 2-0 for long, though, because Red Star in here. Huang with the shot and the goal. And Red Star halved the deficit. Calvin Phillips with a short run up to the ball. Right-footed. Scores into the left-hand side of the goal. Goalkeeper goes the wrong way. And Calvin Phillips is on the score sheet for the first time. The header comes in from the corner, and Red Star have their second goal of the game. And Manchester City once again lose their 2-goal lead. It's Red Star 2, Manchester City 3.
Action replay.
Total Sport.
BBC Radio Manchester.
Yeah, that's how it finished. Red Star 2, Manchester City 3, Leipzig 2, Young Boys 1 was the other game in that group earlier today. Manchester City group winners. Leipzig finished second. Young Boys into the Europa League. Red Star crash out with just a solitary point from their 6 games. Manchester United also crashed out last night, losing 1-0 against Bayern Munich, ended their hopes of any future in Europe this season. The Red Devils boss, Erik ten Hag, says he wants his side to move on as quickly as possible from the disappointment.
And now we can focus, of course, on the Premier League. And this is, I think, say the level we want to play, Champions League. So we have to give every effort in and to be in the top 4. So we next year we are back in the Champions League, and then of course we have the FA Cup. So there's still many things to play for. The game was like this. I think both sides, less chances, but I think there was a good intensity in the game, and I think from our sides we brought Bayern out of their rhythm of the game. I think we defending organisation, pressing organisation, we did quite well. If not to say, I think very well. I think especially first part after the first half or second half, where we had also I think very good ball regains high on the pitch, but then it's right, we didn't take the benefit from it. And also in that spell of the game, we had a very good chance from build up with Bruno Fernandes with a shot just over the goal. So we had our moments, but we didn't take them. So I looked to my team, and we had I think the opportunities in games, and we were in the winning positions. I think we scored many goals, but then also we have to see that we gave it away sometimes by individual errors, but by not one player, but by more players, and not every time the same. And so, we gave the opponent the opportunities to return. But if you assess that, we had very good spells in such game, but we have to do better. And the fact are, we have not enough points. So that is, of course, disappointed. That is where, we are disappointed as a group, and as a manager, I'm disappointed. We should have done better.
Big game for Manchester United this weekend when they take on Liverpool at Anfield. Will be a tough test for Erik ten Hag to bounce back from that one. Manchester United women take on Leicester City in the Women's League Cup tomorrow evening. Reds head coach Mark Skinner says he's expecting a tough test against a side who've already held them to a draw this season.
I've been really impressed with the way they're playing, so I know what to expect, and the team know what to expect. Quick turnaround from the game as Leicester have as well, so you've got to kind of get back into that rhythm. But I expect it to be a tough game, Dan. We're at home, which I want us to maximise, and I want us to use that advantage. But we've got the benefit of, I think, that we can eliminate Leicester from the challenge if we beat them. So we've got to go into the game looking to win it, and of course we want to progress in the group. We've got the toughest group, so for us to progress from this group will be excellent as well. I think we've learnt a lot. I think to be clinical, Dan, we've got to be clinical tomorrow night. There's no doubt about that. They're going to play. They're going to create chances because Willie's got them playing that way. They're playing fearlessly. So we need to make sure that we utilise that and then try and control as much of the game as possible.
So Manchester United against Leicester tomorrow. It's half time then in your FA Cup second round commentary. Stockport 0, Aldershot 0. Macaulay Southern Hales on the pitch. So from his first car to his first night out, here's his football firsts.
First team you supported?
Cardiff City. I'm a Cardiff boy, grew up in the area. First season ticket was at Cardiff, although dad's side of the family is Scouse, so I've always been brought up with Liverpool as well. But the first team I remember was Cardiff. Yeah.
First football memory?
Just being out the back of my old mud, teaching me right and left foot. We had a garden which was on a hill, so we'd roll the ball down. I'd kick it back with my left, he'd roll the ball down and kick it up with my right. It's always harder in a hill, but yeah, that sticks with me.
First football hero?
I'll go Messi.
Lionel Messi, who rolls it in. So cool from Messi.
He's more my era. It's hard for me to say like Ronaldo and people like that, but I go Messi.
Messi sits up for him, drives the shot! Lionel Messi!
There you go. That's just some of Macaulay Southern Hales' Football First on BBC Radio Manchester, a regular feature that we bring you an insight into some of our local sides. Right, let's get back to Edgeley Park, shall we? Players out for the second half. Just to fill you in very quickly what's happening in the Champions League. Newcastle still lead by 1-0. Dortmund and PSG still 0-0. So Newcastle going through as it stands to the last 16. Atletico Madrid have taken the lead against Lazio to lead by... a second goal scored against Lazio, but it's been just ruled out, actually. Hermoso got it, but it's been disallowed through VAR. Porto in front against Shakhtar as well. So you're all up to date. Let's get you to a big second half then. Who is going to play West Brom at the Hawthorns in round 3? Stockport County or Aldershot? 0-0 at the break. Former Stockport player Steve O'Halloran is alongside Alex Whittington.
Thank you very much, Mike. Yes, play just about to get underway here at Edgeley Park, at a half-full Edgeley Park, and it goalless between these two. Then Stockport will be kicking from left to right in front of us, kicking towards their preferred home fans at the Cheadle end, hoping to get through to that third round trip to the Hawthorns, as the ball immediately lofted long by Aldershot's Harries, and it's cleared by Stockport. And Madden then immediately leaks one through to Carl Wootton, 30 yards out, can't quite find Alafi. Yes, he does now. The ball falls to County's top goal scorer with his back to goal on the right hand side of the box, lays it further back now. Southam Hales now. We're near the right-hand touchline as County attack, and Croasdale tries to go down the line, but Glover will come across and see it out. So no changes then at the break. Stockport, just the one change coming into this game from Saturday's draw at Morecambe. Sarcevic out for 2 months, camps in as the ball whipped across by Glover, and it's cleared by County. So a bright start then to this second half, as Aldershot will have a throw in line with the left-hand side of the penalty area. We'll go through the teams in just a second as Stokes turns Croasdale, who's dragging on. They're each dragging onto each other's shirts, and the referee gives the free kick the way of the Aldershot man. 0-0, 46 minutes gone.
No, good start from Aldershot there, looking to threat down this left side. Decent ball in from Glover, and again on the ball.
And another ball in by Glover, and this time a flicked header by Barham, which is at the feet of Hinchliffe, who bends down and collects it. But a real chance there for for Aldershot Town there early on in this second half. Ball whipped in, Barham flicked it on. An easy save really, straight at Hinchliffe. But danger signs for the shots early on in this second half. 2 minutes gone, the deadlock yet to be broken, as Rowe comes out and clatters Tanto Olafi midway through the Aldershot half, and it'll be a free kick for Stockport County just to the right hand side, 30 yards out.
Yeah, just as I was saying, Glover whipped in a great left-footed ball early on, and great defending from Ibutore in the right position at the right time, and literally while I was talking, puts another great ball from Glover in, testing County's defence, and again Ben Hinchliffe in the right place at the right time. But a sign of intent from Aldershot this second half. County need to maybe up it a gear in the next few minutes to then really try and get the fans going actually in this second half, I think.
Yeah, around about 5,000-6,000 fans in here at Edgeley Park. Not quite rocking as it has done for much of their home form this season. Callum Camps with the free kick, and it can't beat the first man who heads it clear. That's Harfield, and pretty comfortable really for Aldershot there, defending in front of the Cheadle end. On the right hand side now, attacking with Minoga, who cuts infield. Harries is up from centre back, very high up the pitch for Aldershot as the ball goes through to Ben Hinchliffe. So 3 minutes played then in this second half, 0-0. Let's go through those teams. So for Stockport then, they've got 4 at the back. Hinchliffe in goal, Southam Hales, Horsfall, Pai, Torre. Then a diamond in midfield as Tollage is flagged offside. He fires wide anyway to the derision of the Stockport County fans. So Croasdale at the base of the diamond, Camps to his right, Bailey to his left, Madden playing behind Olafi, and Wootton up top. As Southam Hales, who's just feeling his right knee, I think, possibly his calf, just stretching that out. He is back up though on and standing. For the away side then, for Aldershot, the National League team, 6th in the National League. Van Stappersforth in goals, back 3 of Rowe, Harries and Harfield. Then Minoga wide right, Glover wide left, Frost and Willard in the middle, and Stokes playing behind Barham and Tollage up top. Those 3 have been dangerous opponents for Stockport. So that's how we stand, 0-0, 4 minutes then played of the second half. We spoke about Stockport wanting to have a fast start in this second 45, Steve O'Halloran, but really it's been Aldershot who have come out firing.
Yeah, I think the team talks might have been the wrong way around. I think, Aldershot have come out the gates very fast, and like we said, looking at threat down this left side. So it's just something that Southam Hells, he want to creep forward this second half, but he'll have to be aware of that threat from Glover as well down this left.
It's with Stockport's left, and it's with Ibutora. He takes a burst into the box, still going Torre, lays it back to Bailey, who tries to turn and get it onto his right-hand foot, and Camps eventually does get a shot away inside the box, and it deflects behind for a Stockport County corner kick out the Cheadle end.
Yeah, that's more likely for the County faithful, getting behind the team now, out for a corner. Great injection of pace from Tanto down the left there to cut back to Bailey. Tried to take that extra touch, just get a shot off. But then you can see Callum Camps gets the shot off into a corner. Much better.
And it's Bailey, the left foot out swinger it will be. Wootton and Pye on the edge of the box. Olafi, Madden and Horsfall in there too as it comes in. It's into the middle and comfortably into the hands of Van Stappersforth, who looks to send Aldershot off quickly on the counter-attack, and Camps is having to drag back his man there and give away a free kick midway through the half and gets a yellow card for his troubles there. Really struggling was Camps against the pace of Barham.
Yeah, far too easy there. Great chance. We're just complimenting County, for getting the corner. But then such a waste. They need to get somebody, I know the keeper is obviously a big man, but it's just looking at there. Get somebody to attack it. Get somebody to make it uncomfortable for him. Because it was far too easy for him just to pluck it out of the air and put Aldershot up to the end. And looking at now, County are facing a dangerous set piece here.
Yeah, on the edge of their box, County, as they take their defensive line. It's going to be a ball played short though instead to Harries, who goes for the dink, looking for his men down the right hand side, headed clear though by Stockport and hooked further clear eventually by Paddy Madden in front of that travelling Aldershot's fan base, which you can hear on the far side, their right hand side, as Aldershot look to attack this second half at Edgeley Park. Quick throw in will go all the way through to a Ben Hinchliffe goal kick. So 6 minutes gone, 0-0. These two teams hoping for a place in the third round against West Brom at the Hawthorns on Sunday the 7th of January. The longer this goes on, the more you fear there could be an upset if you're a Stockport County fan.
And a waste there from Ben.
One goalkeeper to another there. Ben Hinchliffe all the way through to his counterpart Jordy van Stappershoff. The Dutchman, the AFC Amsterdam sign-in for the Shots, who are currently 6th in the National League. Won in the FA Trophy on Saturday at Eastleigh on 5-4 on penalties. So they're a team which, as we've already referenced in the first half, aren't to be trifled with. Glover looking for Stokes, the man who got the 2 goals in the first game between these two at Aldershot in that 2-2 draw. And Aldershot with Tollage and Stokes, left-hand edge of the box. Tollage, the yellow boots, even further wide. Ball whipped in there by Hartfield. It takes a bounce and falls to Tollage, who hits one into the deck, and it slides wide of the left-hand post. But a cleaner strike possibly could have caused greater trouble for Ben Hinchliffe there.
No, it looks like there's going to be changes already on this on the touchline here. It looks like Southam Hales is coming off Kyle Noyle. Whether he's carrying a knock, Alex, I'm not too sure. I don't think, if we're looking at the two sides here, that Dave Challoner will be happy with this start from County. Very much a threat from Aldershot, and again another chance for Tollage down this kind of down this left hand side. So Kyle Noyle, we know, likes to get forward, but he'll have to look at defending as well, because there's been a lot of threat down this left hand side of Aldershot this second half.
We did see Southam Hales go down around about 2 minutes ago, looking at his right hand ankle, his right hand calf possibly. He hasn't gone down the touchline. He's talking to the physio on the bench, is Macaulay Southam Hales, and he'll take his place there. So Carl Noel on in his place, the assist maker for Carl Wootton's equaliser on Saturday at Morecambe. And it's a like-for-like replacement there,
yeah,
Steve.
It'll obviously be a bit of a worry for County that Southam Hales has gone off. He had a long spell out last season, so they won't want him missing too many games this season after such a hard road back. But no, like you said, Kyle Noyle, tons of experience, really a big attacking threat down this right hand side for County, and they'll be looking to get him on the ball. But again, he'll just have to be wary of Glover, who's having a good game for Aldershot.
Yeah, it's going to be thrown straight into the action is Kyle Noyle. Macaulay Southern-Hales already had 19 appearances, way more than he did last season. As Croasdale, as County attacked, he had a ball which was crying out to go to Wootton. Instead, he couldn't thread it through, and it's intercepted by Harsfield. Croasdale gets another sliding tackle, this one on the left centre back for Aldershot.
No, it's what you expect from Croasdale. Outstanding, lots of commitment, and he broke up the play fantastically there. That's what you'll want him in front of your back four doing, breaking up the ball, but didn't pick the correct ball there to try and get Wootton in, but then won it back and giving County a chance now in this final third.
And it's Bailey's ball whipped into the box, which is headed clear by Aldershot, and they go again with Stockport with a throw-in short taken by Noyle to Bailey. Midway through the Aldershot half, try to perhaps look for a ball into the box, instead goes back to Noyle, who goes down the line up against Glover. That could be a really interesting battle as we go further into this second half of the FA Cup second round replay. Stockport 0, Aldershot 0. Noyle exchanges passes with Odin Bailey right by the right hand touchline, and Glover wins the ball back from Noyle, and his clearance goes infield, but Stockport do win the ball back. The right hand edge of the box, Bailey goes down under a challenge, but that would have been quite a weak free kick. The referee waves play on, and Tollage comes short into the Aldershot half to win the ball back to Stokes, and now it's with Glover, who goes for a long ball left to right, looking for his teammate Frost, and it bounces once. It's picked up by Monoga, who plays it infield to Tollage, dead centre outside the box. Can't quite get the ball out of his feet, and Stockport will clear.
Yeah, no, just too many touches down this right hand side, I feel, Alex. There was a couple of chances there for Bailey. Oh, chance now to Tom.
Bailey sends it through left hand into the box. Tansalafi cuts inside. Alafi, though, Harries comes out and is big and strong and steps in front of Alafi's path and brings it out.
Again, too many touches. Just get it out your feet, Tanto. He's got loads of pace, bags of pace. Get it out of your feet, get your shot off. Too many touches from the County players at the minute. I think Dave Challoner will be demanding more in the next few minutes from the players.
And this game is starting to open up. We're nearly at the hour mark. Goalless between Aldershot of the National League and Stockport, the League 2 leaders. And it's with Stokes, left-hand side of the box. Goes for the cross in. Hinchliffe rises and claims. And immediately gets the counter-attack underway. As you can hear, the County fans now starting to try and find their voice. They know how important these next 10 or so minutes are for each of these sides' progression into the third round and a trip to West Bromwich Albion.
Yeah, Dave Challoner urging his players on here as well out the left.
Torre goes down under a challenge from Monoga, perhaps too weakly though, and it's adjudged to be a no foul, and it'll be a throw-in on the far side, the Aldershot right.
I don't know if it's just me, Alex, or is it just that they are taking too many touches? Would you agree? Because it's just looking at, they're getting into good positions out this left-hand side, out this right-hand side. Get the ball into the boxes where they've had the threat in the first half when we were complimenting County in their last 10-15 minutes. But definitely taking too many touches and making poor decisions.
It's definitely a frustration, isn't it, for the County fans at the moment. I mentioned before how we saw it in Morecambe. It's a similar kind of game from County's perspective. They've had quite a bit of the possession and a lot of touches in and around the penalty area, like they had at Morecambe on Saturday, and we're crying out for someone to whip that ball in, and Carl Wootton perhaps to get on the end of it. Maybe that might be their way that they get their goal. As it is goalless on the hour mark nearly, as Carl Noyle has the ball. The substitute plays it back to Ben Hinchliffe. Half times in the Champions League games. As it stands, Newcastle going through. They lead AC Milan by a goal to nil earlier. Manchester City beat Red Star Belgrade 3-2 in their final group game. You heard from Pep Guardiola at half-time on Total Sport. Further reaction tomorrow. And you can have your say too, 6 till 7 on Total Sport tomorrow night. City United, whoever you support. Hopefully, if you're a Stockport fan, it will be singing their praises of going to West Brom in the 3rd round. But as it stands, it's not looking like it at the moment. 0-0. Throw into Stockport midway through their half. Carnell on the ball, lays it short to Crowsdown.
County fans trying to get the team going here a bit more, Alex, as well. I think, they can sense the urgency of needing something to get this County side going.
Paddy Madden comes deep to the halfway line and plays it back to Ethan Pye. Madden calling for the ball again. This time it goes to Odin Bailey, to Torre, and deflects onto, I should say, Frost. But he can't do anything with the ball, and Stockport end up giving away a throw-in, one of the three. We'll get there eventually, Steve. Paddy Madden, Steve, we mentioned him in the first half. Obviously, he's playing behind this front two. What have you made of him trying to pull the strings for Stockport?
Yeah, I think he's not done much wrong, but then he hasn't really had the ball in the right areas. I don't know if you agree or not, but he hasn't had the ball, on the half turn. He hasn't had the ball, so that he can drive forward and drive his team forward. Look for that pass for Alafe. Look for that pass for Watton, or even get a shot off himself. He's a player with so much quality, and obviously that goal threat, but he just hasn't been in the positions and had the ball at his feet yet. I want to see a bit more from Callum Camps, who we were obviously talking about at half time and towards the end of the second half. He hasn't really had the ball much this half compared to the first half, and he was such a threat and intricate in getting this County side going. So I'd like to see him get on the ball a bit more in the next few minutes.
Yeah, Callum Camps and Paddy Madden just exchanging passes, and Crowsdale has a free kick given for him. With Josh Stokes gives it away right on the halfway line, the right hand side, as Stockport County attacking. It is Camps then who brings the ball into the half, lays it to his left hand side, and Odin Bailey. Dave Chan on the edge of his box crying out. Instead it goes left hand side to Torre. Cross comes into the box, but again into the big figure of Geordie van Stappersforth in the Aldershot goals, and he claims it. 0-0.
No, well played from the goalkeeper, but that was better from County. That's what they were looking for. Camps on the ball, Bailey dropping off, getting the half turn and out to Torre. That's what we saw towards the end of at the end of the first half. So if it's not broke, we don't have to fix it. Keep that going down that left hand side.
Ball with Aldershot and with Rowe, who plays it back to Van Stappersforth, who comes out of his box sends the goal kick long onto the head of Horsfall, and it'll be picked up by Harfield, the man who blocked Carl Wotton's attempt later on in the first half. So Aldershot, who have been a bit quieter now, Stockport seeing more of the ball as we cross over the hour mark on Total Sport, 5 Sports Extra and BBC Sport Online. But now Lauren Talage approaches the edge of the box, lays it through to Stokes, who's battling with Noel. Stokes, he's got the play to the right of him, instead he goes for goal instead, and Ben Hinchliffe, the right boot of Hinchliffe, gets down low and manages to clear it. But Hinchliffe spread himself well there and denied what was a goal for Aldershot.
Yeah, superb play from Aldershot there on the break. You look at Talage, he held it up well, looking for that support runner. Finally got the support runner, and what a foot from Ben Hinchliffe.
And it's Talage again, who turns quickly and strikes a left-footed effort into the palms of Hinchliffe. But another goal threat there by Lauren Talage, the Brighton signing, the Brighton youth player. He's also had loan spells at Salford City as well. But he's looking a handful up top there, Steve, for Aldershot.
Yeah, no, again, like we were saying in the first half, it's not often you see Fraser Horsfall on the back foot, but he's definitely been a threat against Fraser Horsfall tonight. And he's been intricate to everything good about Aldershot. He's brought his players into play, got a pot shot then again for Aldershot. So he's been very impressive.
11 goals in all competitions for the Swiss youth international Laurent Talage. County with Wotton midway through the Aldershot half, lays it back to Noel on the right hand side onto his left, and Camps 30 yards out exchanges it with Bailey. You've got Torre on the overlap. Bailey perhaps takes too long on the ball, does go now to Torre, who's forced to cut inside by Minoga and lays it to Noel, who goes for the drilled in cross, and eventually it will be cleared. But there was a moment there where the ball was loose inside the Aldershot box, Steve, and no County player was on their toes to pounce on it.
Yeah, you'd be just urging the County players to get on that second ball, all making maybe the same run, but much better from County there, trying to spread the play out over from Bailey and Torre, but then spreading it back to Kyle Niall, who gets in great positions in that kind of final third there.
65 minutes, 0-0. Torre by the left-hand corner flag, cross comes in. It's behind everyone though, didn't quite fall to Paddy Madden, who's making a late run into the box. And Aldershot will clear with Tolaj in front of the dugout on the left-hand touchline. Back to Glover, who now is on the halfway line, dinks the ball in. Looking for Barham, and it's cleared by Stockport, and it'll be a throw-in to the Hatters on the right-hand side. So 0-0 then between these two. 25 minutes left for someone to get the winner to reach West Brom in the third round.
Yeah, it's definitely looking at it. Needs someone to kind of nearly take this game by the scruff of the neck at this stage. Someone to put a bit of magic into this FA Cup tie.
Is that coming from Bailey, who skips past Minoga by the left-hand touchline, but the Aldershot player does really well to be big and strong and clear it out for a throw-in. Stockport trying to build with Fraser Horsfall, who comes inside. Back to Callum Camps. How instrumental can Callum Camps be? It is now with Ibu Torre, who darts inside into the feet of Crowsdale, but he is shepherded and having to go back to Ethan Pye. Horsfall's needed to step across and help his teammate out. His ball goes out for a throw-in.
Yeah, just a bit congested down that side there. I think, they're looking for the options to turn out. Get Paddy Madden on the ball, get Callum Canson on the ball. Can they be influential in raising this kind of cup tie for County?
We've barely mentioned, Steve, Carl Wootton in this second half. Nearly 20 minutes gone of it, and he hasn't really had a touch or had any kind of service either.
No, well, look, you'd be looking at like players like Kyle Niall, like you said, came on at the weekend and he was instrumental in getting that equaliser for kind of County. So, you'd be looking at getting him into the positions to supply for Kyle Wootton.
And it is Wootton who's battling with Harfield, who does lay it back to Noel. Wootton having to come deep there and get involved in the action. It's on the halfway line with Ethan Pye. 0-0 between these two. FA Cup second round replay. Odin Bailey flicks it past Frost, and Wootton again having to come short, but he's just walking his Carl Wootton. He's not sprinting or running really back to his position at the top of the pitch. He does get there now. He's cutting perhaps a bit of a forlorn figure, is the former Notts County man. Callum Camps waving at Noel to get forward on the right hand side. There was acres of space there for Noel to go into, but he didn't, and instead the ball is back with Aldershot.
Yeah, Camps was just looking for someone to try and bounce the ball off, or looking for a little 1-2 with Kyle Niall. It just wasn't happening for them. He keeps breaking down at the minute for County.
Diving header forwards by Rowe as well to get ahead of Odin Bailey. Munoga on the right hand side cuts in field. Ibu Torre challenging now with Stokes, the man who got to the two goals which have forced this replay. Does well to go past Torre now. Stokes getting near to the byline, dinks the ball into the box. Headed clear was needed by Ethan Pye, and a drilled in effort by Willard is also blocked by Stockport County, but Tolaj, the tall figure of him, always a threat. County though can only give the ball away back to the non-league side, and it's now with Minoga again. He crosses, and it will be Crowsdale who does come back with his back to goal. He gets it clear to Wootton. Where are the options? And the foul is given against Aldershot, against Harries, and it will be a free kick to County. A foul though that does obviously buy the away side some time there, because Madden was running on.
Yeah, no, it was well played by Carl Wootton. That's what he does well, to try and relieve the pressure from his side. But County just couldn't get it out of the box there. They were getting players for Aldershot overlapping, and at the minute Aldershot fancy themselves in this cup tie as the game goes on.
68 minutes played, goalless between Stockport County and Aldershot Town. Tantolafi's forced away from goal by Minoga and goes to Ibu Torre on the left flank. This time he rolls it infield to Callum Camps now, and will come all across on the right hand side now to Carl Noel, who's taken on his man Glover and sends the ball aimlessly really Mishit that one, did Carnell, behind into the Cheadle end. He apologises to his teammates, but a few words being mentioned there, Steve, between Callum Camps and Carl Wootton and Paddy Madden as well there in the middle.
Yeah, and I think they're just trying to demand a bit more from each other there. You know, they're three experienced players. Obviously then, you know, you got Paddy Madden who's got goals in him, Carl Wootton who's got goals in him. You know, these three men could be influential in deciding this tie, but who's going to be?
Yeah, Callum Camps clapping to his teammates behind him to get that urgency that Steve O'Halloran, the former Hatters man, is calling out for on Total Sport on 5 Sports Extra and the BBC Sport website and app. 0-0 between these two, Stockport and Aldershot, as the ball is on the right hand side of the halfway line for Rowe, who cuts it infield to Frost, tries to play through Barham, but it'll go all the way through to Ben Hinchliffe in goal. So West Brom, that's the prize for getting through this, the Championship side at the Hawthorns. A tie which, even though Stockport boss Dave Chandler said that the league was the priority, which it is, they're top of the league and they will want to get that promotion to the 3rd tier, will Stockport County, but a nice cup run could do them well. And this project that's being built here at Edgeley Park in Stockport, as Carl Wootton takes the ball on his chest, he's being marked though by 2 Aldershot men, and Glover gets it on the halfway line, but a free kick given against Jack Barham on Fraser Horsfall as he stooped a high foot from the Aldershot front man.
Some movement on the bench here for Aldershot as well, Alex. It'll be interesting to see what Dave Chandler will do to react to this as well for Thomas.
Yeah, so coming on then for the shots will be Kwame Thomas going off Tyler Frost. So Kwame Thomas, a striker, coming on for Frost, who is a midfielder, Steve. So Aldershot now throwing on the big target man as well, so that potentially they've got, with Thomas, with Barham, with Tolaj on the pitch, that's 3 out-and-out strikers for the visitors.
Yeah, it's looking at like Aldershot are thinking, well, is it going to be all or nothing in this final period? And you know, not too much movement on the county bench at the minute. You know, is Dave Chandler happy just to see how his team reacts to this substitution and see if they can build themselves into this final third now?
Yeah, not a lot of options on the Stockport County bench. We've mentioned how many injuries they've suffered, but Carnell already on the right back. There's no out-and-out attackers really on there. Akil Wright, Neil Byrne, Cottrell, Pond, Richardson, Nee and Johnson. So lots of youth, and defence and midfield really the options for Chandler. So Stockport really need to do the job here with the current team that they've got, as they win a free kick. Ethan Pye going down under a challenge inside his own box.
Yeah, outstanding by the young defender there. Obviously calmly reading the play and putting his foot in where, you know, it needs to be for County at this stage.
Horsfall plays it to Carnell, who goes down the line, eventually looking for Wootton, but the ball be blazed high and out by Harries. 0-0 between these two, as County now look to try and camp themselves inside the Stockport County half.
Better ball there actually from Kyle Noyle. We haven't seen too much of that today, of maybe putting Aldershot on the back foot and stretching them. So is that maybe something to look at for these as Callum Camps comes in?
To Camps inside the box. Defender though comes across and manages to get there. As Harfield, who's been strong for the shots tonight. Free kick given against Ethan Pye just inside the Aldershot half against Thomas, who's already taken the tip of that front three.
Yeah, and actually just as we're speaking there, Alex, it looks like there is a bit of movement now on the bench for Stockport.
So interestingly, it will be Jaden Richardson and Akil Wright who will be coming on for County. We saw Jaden Richardson and Carnell both come on Saturday in their last game, the 1-1 draw at Morecambe, for the 2 centre-backs. So trying to get more delivery into the box for Stockport. It is though with Harford, who sends a left-footed delivery in from the corner flag, and Stokes right hand side of the box battling with Crowsdale, comes inside the penalty area, goes past Torre, goes down under a challenge from Torre, but a slight coming together. He was looking there for the penalty, was the youngster. Nothing given.
Yeah, not for me there, Alex. I think, you know, he was in a good position. The lad, you know, tried to maybe outdo the 2 County defenders there, but no, went over very easily there in a dangerous position again for Aldershot.
Josh Stokes, the Ipswich Town Academy 19-year-old graduate from there. He's doing well for Aldershot so far this season. Carl Newell then plays it across the halfway line to Ethan Pye. 0-0 between these two as the clock ticks on Total Sport, on Radio 5 Sports Extra and the BBC Sport website. And a free kick given against County there, and Odin Bailey's not very happy about it. He's just exchanging words there with Stokes.
Yeah, it was a poor off the ball tussle there, and the referee spotted it and has given it to Aldershot there when County looked actually like they could have been in a decent position. Paddy Madden got a half turn looking to put Torre through, but yeah, a bit of a mistake there from Bailey.
So it will be a free kick then to Aldershot deep in their own half. A few of the goals to tell you about flying in around the Champions League, and Royal Antwerp 2-1 up against Barcelona, and PSG had equalised against Dortmund earlier. Manchester City beat Red Star Belgrade 3-2. Right, here are then the Stockport County changes, and it is Ryan Croasdale off, Akil Wright on. So the centre defensive midfield position will be taken up by Akil Wright, and also Odin Bailey off and Jaden Richardson on. Jaden Richardson on loan from Aberdeen. So bringing on someone who's got pace, I think, there, Steve Halloran.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the way County are setting up there. It looks like Kyle Knowles gone in to a back three now, so it looks like Torre and Richardson are going to be, hopefully for County fans, bombing forward with Akil Wright just sitting in front of the back three there, which he's obviously seen him play many times before.
And Callum Camps dispossesses on the edge of his penalty area. Now a chance for County to come forward. He comes across the halfway line, plays it to his right side. Alafi, the ball gets stuck under his boot, lays it through to Richardson. Keeper comes out on Stafford's outside his 6-yard area and claims it eventually. But Richardson almost immediately involved in play there, bursting through, utilising that pace that we were just speaking about. And the keeper needs to be big and come out there, Steve.
And that's the energy that the County fans are wanting from this team. You know, we were looking at what way it's going to set up. Akil Wright will sit in front of the back three. That will give, hopefully, Callum Camps, who started off that run of play, give him a bit more license to go forward and join in with Paddy Madden, to join in with Tanto Alafe. Great ball in. Richardson just nearly on his first touch, nearly making himself a hero in this tie.
24 minutes left to play at Edgeley Park. Stockport County 0, Aldershot Town 0 in the FA Cup second round replay. Richardson again involved in front of us on the right hand side as he fouls Glover. And we see Challoner again, the Stockport County boss, out barking instructions. County 6 points clear at the top of League 2, out of the FA Trophy, but they'll want to progress to the Hawthorns in January. So free kick then to Aldershot. Really not happy there, is he, Steve? Dave Challoner?
No, he'll be looking now for the two substitutes to make an impact on this game. Straight away, Richardson showing bags of energy, nearly up in the attacking half, getting himself at the end of a goal. And even though he gave away the foul there, straight away showing his energy and his intent to try and make his name in this game. So yeah, looking at Richardson could be a good outlet with Torre on the opposite side there as well.
Yeah, they're spreading it nice and wide at Stockport County. Richardson, the right wing back, nice and far to the right hand side, right by the touchline for Stockport County. Nibu Torre doing exactly the same thing on the left hand side. So Hinchliffe sends the free kick along. Wootton wins the header onto the head of Alafe, who can't quite bring the ball down. It comes down eventually, but it's hooked clear by Harries at the back.
Now, already it looks a lot better for County with those changes. You know, we said it was getting a bit congested in there, Alex. You know, County were getting a bit sloppy in possession. Straight away now to change of formation, it gives the wing backs a lot more license to get forward, which is going to stretch Aldershot, you know, to open up little gaps then for people like Callum Camps, for people like Paddy Madden to get on the ball.
Yeah, the playmakers of this team, Callum Camps. Newcastle have conceded an equaliser against AC Milan. Half an hour left to play in that one. Ball then with Willard, who brings it forward for the shots to his right hand side. And Stokes into Tolaj, who's done really well for the non-league team, battling with Ethan Pye. Pye, though,
great battle, well done Ethan Pye.
Well, comes forwards and plays it to his left, and Paddy Madden now as the County Blues streaks forwards. Perhaps too much there from Richardson. He's almost got carried away and gone all the way to the edge of the penalty area. Madden doesn't have that option now, so instead he's boxed into a bit of a corner. Does really well, though, the Stockport captain, to try and lay it into Richardson, who came back onto the right-hand edge of the box, but Aldershot will clear. And they win a free kick midway through their half. So 0-0 here then between these two teams, Stockport County and Aldershot. 11 minutes left to play, and we'll see a substitute for the visitors, which will be Ollie Scott coming on for Tommy Willard. So Steve O'Halloran then, just over 10 minutes left. What no Stockport fan, what Dave Chandler and would certainly not want to happen, is for this to go the distance.
Yeah, well, we were looking at County coming out with bags of energy this half. We haven't seen it up until these changes, Alex. So you're looking at, and hopefully for County fans, an exciting last period to this game. It's already getting onto the ball a lot more, already stretching the play a lot more. Just need to then maybe make some more chances and get some shots and test the keeper in the Aldershot goal.
It is, though, with Glover, who gives the ball away to Akil Wright, who comes forward across the halfway line. He's got Wootton ahead of him, but Akil Wright decides to go down a bit of a corridor himself. The right-hand corner flag, he comes up to it, shepherded by Stokes. Does well, though, the substitute. Plays it to the feet of Wootton, who's forced wide again, and now it's with Richardson, who cuts it back to Noyle, but the pass was under-hit.
Foul.
And the referee does give the free kick, though, against Stockport County, much to the disbelief of Steve O'Halloran there. Carnell, not quite sure what he was adjudged to have done there, really. He went down under the challenge, and the referee thought that he'd dived, possibly.
Yeah, no, I'm a bit stumped by that decision. The referee's actually had a half-decent game tonight, and not covered himself in glory with that one, Alex. But yeah, much better again from County. Akil Wright pushing on to the corner there, trying to make something happen. That's what the County fans want to see in this last kind of period. Make something happen, give the fans something to shout about, and give them a couple of chances.
0-0. Free kick from that foul against Carnobi Van Stappershoff, the keeper, who sends it long, looking for the target of Thomas. It's headed clear, though, by Stockport County. As we enter into the final 10 minutes of this one at Edgeley Park, goalless still. The deadlock yet to be broken in the FA Cup second round replay. Who will be the hero? Will it be Stockport, the League Two leaders, progressing into the third round? Will it be the non-league side, Aldershot Town, as Porto go 3-1 up against Shakhtar Donetsk in the Champions League? Ball long from the Hinchliffe goal kick onto Wootton, who flicks it, trying to find his partner. Wootton, who is adjudged to have given a foul against the Aldershot centre-back there, who was strong in the tackle. Both players went down under the challenge, and Aldershot will not hurry here at all by any means there. They know that they are frustrating the Stockport County players and their fans. As Paddy Madden now comes across, it's Rowe who's on the deck, very, very slowly gets himself to his feet. It's 0-0.
No, it's good game management from Aldershot. You know, they're getting a couple of nice decisions from the referee. I think that was a 50-50 chance there for Tanto Lafe and the defender Rowe. You know, who's a big, strong lad. Physio coming on. I don't know if he needs it, but you know, smart gamesmanship from Aldershot, which you gotta hand it to him.
Yeah, the non-league side doing all they can to frustrate the League Two side. So Rowe is receiving some treatment into the final 10 minutes of this one. Goalless in the FA Cup second round. Gives us a quick chance to look through some of the other scores. So AC Milan equalising against Newcastle is not good news for Eddie Howe's side. As it stands, they're third in the table and obviously won't progress into the last 16. That Christian Pulisic, the former Chelsea man, getting the equalisers. They have to score again. Elsewhere, Royal Antwerp still lead Barcelona 2-1, Atletico Madrid 2, Lazio 0, Celtic a goal up against Feyenoord. One apiece between Dortmund and PSG. Porto now 3-1 up against Shakhtar, and Newcastle 1, AC Milan 1. Total Sport, BBC Radio 5 Sports Extra and the BBC Sport website and app into the final 10 minutes of what hasn't necessarily been a thriller, Steve O'Halloran, but it has been a decent game between these two, because both teams, well, certainly Aldershot really have gone for it.
Yeah, you got to look at both teams tonight. Is there a division between these two teams? Aldershot have stood up very well and given them a massive account of themselves, and very much in this tie. You were hoping as a Stockport fan that they'd come out in this second half and look to carry on the good ending to the first half, but it hasn't played out like that at the minute, Alex. Signs since the substitutions in the last 10 minutes that yes, County can be a threat in this final period, but it's still all to play for at the minute.
Certainly is. Steve O'Halloran, the former Hatters defender on Total Sports. The ball long onto the head of Fraser Horsfall. Then from that free kick, Rowe is fine. He is up and he's ready to go on. The Aldershot Town centre back. They have a throw in front of the dugout on their left hand side. They're attacking the railway end here under the floodlights at Edgeley Park. Flicked header by Carnell forward onto Callum Camps, and Aldershot will attempt to find and work the line, but it's out for a Stockport County throw-in. So Rowe, as you can hear from the Stockport County fans, booing him plenty as he comes back on and takes his position at the back for Stockport County.
Well, the only positive from a Stockport point of view is that the time should be added on for Rowe being down for all that time.
Paddy Madden, middle of the park, tries to send it round the right hand side and onto the pace of Richardson, but it's through to Van Stappershoff in the Aldershot Town goals. So both teams have had their chances as well. Stappershoff needed to save smartly down to his left hand side earlier on in the first half. Callum Camps too having a shot on target. Ben Hinchliffe's both shots that have come against him have been straight at him. 0-0 then. Here is the substitute Scott. The ball gets stuck under his foot and Noy will bring it clear, and Tantu Alafi turns and tries to thread the ball through to Richardson, but well stood up there by Harfield, who's had a decent game, the Aldershot Town left centre back.
Yeah, chance for Alafi to put Richardson, who looks full of running tonight since he's come in, Alex, so he could still be a threat and hopefully for County maybe a decisive member of this squad coming into this final period. Captain
Paddy Madden coming really deep into his own half there to pick up the ball, and he was beckoning Richardson who had made a run to perhaps come a bit shorter and get a bit more involved in the play rather than looking for the wonder ball, and Horsfall just goes for the right to left cross to Torre, and it's out for a throw-in, and things have definitely quietened down in the past 5 minutes, Steve. Yeah, again, you got to hand it to Aldershot, who have kind of, subdued the county fans and definitely subdued the team at the minute. Paddy Madden in his own half, that's not where you want him to be. You want him to be higher up and being more influential, but he hasn't been getting the ball, Alex. We've been saying this, him and Callum Camps, quieter second half after such a good first half between them. But yeah, I can't really remember the goalkeeper for Aldershot being tested in the second half, which is disappointing. Yeah, the challenges have come in the first half mainly from Stockport, but it has been a second half of few chances as Horsfall heads the ball out for another throw-in on the right hand side for Aldershot, who have done the job here so far, come in making the long trip to the northwest to Stockport County, the League 2 leaders, who are perhaps going through a bit of a sticky patch at the moment. No wins in their last 5. Throw-in on the far side, right by the corner flag for Aldershot Town, in front of their travelling supporters who are in fine voice, all stood up there on the far side. Throw will come into the box now looking for the flick on a Rowe, who does win it with his boots. Wright goes down the challenge, doesn't win it. The ball bobbling around in the box. A header eventually comes on target, and it's into the back of the net, and it's the substitute Scott who turns. It's got a left-footed shot on it and into the corner of the goal. It was a scramble, and it eventually came off the substitute, and it's Aldershot Town, the non-league side, who have got the lead. The shock is on the cards in the FA Cup second round replay. Stockport County 0, Aldershot Town 1.
Yeah, big shock on the cards, like you said there, Alex. You know, the Aldershot players kept the ball alive. It was very kind of, you know, trying to keep the ball in that box and stabbed home. I think it was Ollie Scott that got the final touch, was it?
Yeah, Ollie Scott, the number 18 on his back. The substitutes come on for Stockport. And it was a smart finish, wasn't it, Steve? Ball was bobbling around, but he got his left foot on it and fired it into the corner.
Yeah, messy period there. Couldn't get the ball, you know, a shot off. Couldn't get the ball cleared. And it was Ollie Scott that just stabbed it home very neatly for Aldershot in a massive upset on the cards here.
The Kings Lynn signing for Aldershot, his first goal in their colours, and it could be a goal that sends them into the third round of the FA Cup. West Brom wait in the third round. So into the final minutes of the 90. What a time for the non-league side to score here on Total Sports, on BBC 5 Sports Extra and the BBC Sport website app. What have Stockport County, the League 2 leaders, got here in the remaining minutes added on? The board from the fourth official is about to be lifted. Here goes Stockport County. Tantolafi can't get the ball. It's an under-hits through ball to him. Callum Camps, midway through the Aldershot half, turns to his right, turns to his left, and plays it to Ethan Pye, who goes further onto the touchline, and Torre infield to right. The ball, though, doesn't fall for him. He can't control it. Akil Wright does well, though, to come back and win the challenge. Free kick given and won by Stockport County. Going to see the experienced man of Stuart O'Keefe coming on for the visitors as well, just for them to see it out and what will be a memorable night for the National League side. So a free kick then to Stockport County. It will be taken by Ibu Torre. 6 minutes added on here in the second round replay. Wootton, the ball delivered into him. He wasn't facing the right way, and he ended up heading it back away as a defender would, away from the goal.
That's summing up what's happening at the minute, Alex. You know, dangerous area, decent ball in from Ibu Torre, and just, you know, from Watton, who you'd want in those areas, heads the wrong way, and it's now an Aldershot free kick in the county half.
Yeah, and they will take as long as they possibly can with this one, the non-league side. Yeah, Carl Wootton, as you say, Steve, that's summing up really Stockport's night here. Things haven't clicked for the Hatters as Shakhtar get a goal back at Porto. 3-2 though, Portuguese side lead. So here we go, they're into 6 minutes added on at Edgeley Park. 1-0 to Aldershot at Stockport. As it currently stands, they will be the team travelling to the Hawthorns to face West Brom in January. They've got the ball now with Manoga, who's looked really bright. He goes into the box though. He's adjudged to have fouled Ethan Pye, and Hinchliffe urging his team onwards as he will take the free kick.
Coming into this last 5 minutes, Alex, we weren't expecting this tonight. You know, we were expecting County to be dominant, as they have been a lot at home this season, and even last season. So it is a massive shock, and that's what the FA Cup does. But 5 minutes to go, there's still time for County, someone to step up. But credit to Aldershot at this stage. You know, they've come out, they've put the pressure on County, and at the minute you can't really begrudge them this score.
Stockport County reached the third round last year, where they exited at the hands of Walsall, but they didn't reach it the year before that. So it'll be 2 in 4 years they've reached the FA Cup third round. Substitute for County as Neil Byrne, the experienced centre-back, comes on in place of Ibu Torre, and we're seeing Fraser Horsfall moving to go up alongside Carl Wootton up top. The last dice being rolled here by the Hatters boss Dave Challoner, and Horsfall immediately gives away a free kick coming into the back of Glover with his head.
Yeah, you know, putting Fraser up front there now is just looking at it is maybe desperate times for County towards the end of this cup tie, but you know they need to try and get the ball up the pitch. It's just not happening at the minute now with Aldershot now with another free kick.
And it is launched long, looking for Thomas. The red-booted Thomas. It's booted clearly by Camps, and now here is Horsfield. Doesn't have the pace, does he, to beat Monago? He does really well though. Tantulafi into the box. Sliding tackle comes across though by the Aldershot player, and it's out for a corner kick. Great tackle there. Last ditch it was Tantulafi. Otherwise would have been through on goal, bearing down on the goalkeeper. As it stands, it's Glover who managed to get back there and put it out for a free kick. 1-0 to the Shots.
Yeah, desperation there from County putting Fraser up front, but again makes a nuisance of himself. You know, gives the chance for Tantulafi to get onto the ball, and credit to it was Cian Harries that made the last ditch tackle there. Superb last ditch tackle for a corner now for County.
They put their body so well on the line, have this Aldershot Town team, and it is a corner kick which comes into the box, and there's a front header. Can't beat the first man Harford, who again chases down his headed clearance, and now ball crossed into the box, into the hands of Van Stappersforth from Carl Noyle. And it will be a with the goalkeeper as Callum Camps there down on the edge of the box. He is up though, just took a heavy challenge, the Stockport County man. Look at those Aldershot Town players there, Steve, high-fiving each other for a job well done at the back, because as I say, they have been throwing themselves in front of everything.
Oh, they've been outstanding tonight, Alex. You know, you got to give them credit. You know, frustrating as a County fan to watch this tonight, because again, you're looking at today coming in as favourites, hopefully going on towards the Hawthorns, but at the minute it's Aldershot deserving this.
2 minutes left. Aldershot lead 1-0. Is there an equaliser in this for Stockport County? At the moment there's not. They have a throw in the left back position for them, and it's thrown by Ethan Pye, flicked on by Alafi. Now here is Carl Woodham. He's on the halfway line with his back to goal. He needs Carl Noyle. Carl Noyle goes for the ball, looking for the run of Jaden Richardson. He's got pace, but he doesn't have that much pace, and Van Stappersforth will come out. So things not linking up again for Stockport. Just over a minute left in this one for what will be a famous win for the National League sides, who haven't reached the third round of the FA Cup in a decade. The last time they did back in 2012-2013 season. They're about to do so here in front of a Stockport County faithful. Richardson, left-footed clearance though, only as far as O'Keefe, who boots it onto the heads of Neil Byrne. Paddy Madden again, really, really deep. Paddy Madden's heat map probably spends more time almost in his own half, or certainly around the centre circle for Stockport County in this one. Wootton goes down, gets a sharp wrap on his right ankle there from Harries, and this could well be, this in fact is, with less than a minute left to go, the last chance to get the ball into the box for Stockport County as keeper Ben Hinchliffe makes his way forward. They trail 1-0.
Yeah, you got to look at this as possibly the last chance of the game, like you said there, Alex. But you know, again, County, you know, very scrappy in this. They need a bit of quality here. Callum Camps looking like he's going to be taking this free kick. Needs some quality into the box. Again, Aldershot being very brave with a high line here outside of the box.
Here we go. Callum Camps inside the Aldershot half, goes to the chipped free kick, looking for the back post, but it's headed clear. Does fall almost to Carl Noyle. It is cleared though by O'Keefe. Hinchliffe having to backtrack as quickly as he can. The Stockport County goalkeeper, less than, well, I make it 6 minutes have been played of added on time. Stockport trail 1-0. Ball lost into the box. Wootton tries to head it down at the back post. Tantulafi flicks it in. It's blocked though, and it's cleared. It didn't quite fall to Carl Wootton, and it's cleared by Rowe. Paddy Madden goes for the drilled in into the feet of Alafi, back to goal, flicks it forward, headed clear by Harfield. Stockport trying to throw everything forward, but that might be it, as the ball now is with Aldershot, and Talage, who takes the ball on to 25 yards out, goes for the effort. It is blocked though by Stockport, and that is full time in the FA Cup second round replay, and it's Aldershot Town who will be making their way to the Hawthorns in the third round. The non-league side have come to the League 2 leaders and they have edged it 1-0. There is the players, the substitute bench has charged onto the pitch here. They are celebrating with their fans. Frost charges, fist pumping in front of the Aldershot fans who have made that long trip up from Hampshire to Greater Manchester, and they will be making their way into the third round of the FA Cup, and they thoroughly deserve it, as we see Stokes again hugging perhaps family or friends in the front row as the Aldershot fans come down to their advertising hoardings and look to celebrate with their fans. As for Stockport County, a really disappointing, dismal display from the Hatters. They have exited the FA Cup at the hands of National League side Aldershot Town. It's finished at Edgeley Park. Stockport County 0, Aldershot Town 1.
I mean, Stephen, it's probably the most non-league of non-league goals, that, isn't it? It's a real sickener to concede. Some really poor defending, but it's keep your chances going, keep the ball alive, and that's what Aldershot did to win the game.
Yeah, it's like nobody wanted to kick the ball, to be honest. It was literally no one wanted to clear it, nobody wanted to score. And then Ollie Scott pops up with a lovely little finish then just to stab it home. But again, it's just, you got to give credit to Aldershot tonight. They've been well worth their win, but as a county fan, you must feel dejected tonight.
How do they pick themselves up from there? They've had a bad run of form following those 12 successive wins in League 2, but this is the lowest point of this run of 5 or 6 games without a win.
Yeah, no, they're going to have to look to, Dave Challoner's going to have to look to some of the senior players to have a word with the squad and be like, come on guys, we're coming to the business end of this kind of festive period. There's got a lot of games coming up. They're going to have to try and find different ways to win, because they just didn't look like they had the ideas tonight and the quality to score tonight as well, which is frustrating.
And interesting, because this wasn't by any means a second string team for Stockport County tonight. Dave Challoner went strong.
No, Dave Challoner went with the intent to win and go into the third round, and you could see he had pretty much from the players available his starting 11. There's a lot of quality in the team, but you got to hand it to Aldershot tonight, which is obviously frustrating from a county point of view. You got to hand it to Aldershot. They've turned up. They didn't just play to sit in. They came at county, and yes, you could call it a non-league goal, but they were the one that got the quality in the end.
Did Stockport do enough for you to win it, or to get this game to extra time tonight?
To be honest, no, because you were looking in the first half, you were looking at they finished very well, carry that into the second half, and they didn't. I don't think County had a chance in this second half, which is again very frustrating if you're a County fan watching this. They just didn't look like they had that kind of quality with their crossing in the second half. They didn't look like they had the players that were going to score, which again, when you look at the stats, they have players in that side to score, but tonight it just didn't click.
What we noticed tonight, Mike, that we haven't seen possibly, it's certainly not on that 12-match record equaling winning streak for Stockport, is the players at several times in that second half were not I'm not saying they were having a go at each other, but there was certainly chat amongst them, wasn't there, Steve, about the fact that, look, what's going on here? We need to see more energy, we need to see more impetus, we need to see more deliveries into the box. Paddy Madden, Callum Camps and Carl Wootton almost had a conference with about 15 minutes left to go, and we haven't seen that so far for Stockport this season. Obviously this is a bad result for them, but Dave Challoner has said that the focus is on the league. But what I don't think he'll be very impressed by at all is perhaps the attitude by some of his players on that pitch tonight.
I'm just watching pictures of the Aldershot team celebrating in front of their fans. We'll try and bring you a reaction if we can before 10 o'clock. If not, Anna at breakfast tomorrow morning. Mark Crossley will have all the latest at 1/2 each hour, 6:30, 7:30 and 8:30. What's Dave Challoner's excuse tonight, Stephen, do you think? In fact, let's just hear from a couple of the Aldershot county players on their performance.
Very good win.
And Ollie Scott, we need to show you your goal again. Your first goal, how do you feel now?
I'm buzzing, but obviously the lads put in a hell of a shift before, so just happy to get the job done.
And the celebrations afterwards as well.
We always do that with the fans. we love the fans.
Here's your goal. Talk us through this, Ollie.
Well, I didn't know really what was happening. That's a shambles. Tried to head it in, but I fucking didn't see it. So it's a great finish. Great finish.
It's great that you kept it alive, didn't you? Just kept it alive.
Yeah,
kept it in there. It's difficult for the first header, you can't generate any power. So, but Bowen does brilliant.
Yeah, he does.
Just gets that little touch that just gets it back to you. And then once you're there, what are you thinking there?
Just get it close to the goal.
Great goal, man. Back of the net.
Yeah, just went to the fans, so I was buzzing.
You had no celebration plan?
No, I didn't. I wasn't expecting to play, to be fair.
They're the best celebrations. They're the best ones.
How did you feel? The manager said going on. What did he say?
He just said be yourself, just play like you always do, and no nerves. So just go on.
And tell us about, in terms of coming into this game, what was the game plan?
The game plan was to stay compact, the team stay compact and try to play the counter-attack. And I think the team did well. We didn't have really the chance to really score the goals, but as he said, it's a bit like a shambles, and sometimes that's all you need to win the game.
Did the manager change anything at half time? Because you played so well in the first half. You came out in the second half, did the same thing, but you just went through the gears a little bit more, didn't you? You seemed to give more pressure onto Stockport as well.
You were in the changing room, I weren't, so what
No, we didn't really change the plan. I was playing when I don't know, Tommy came off.
Yeah.
I was playing a bit more deeper, but he put another striker because he really wanted to win the game, and I think we won the game. So
your organisation's excellent, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you know exactly who's going to go and press, where you want to direct the opposition, and then you're able to go and really go and put pressure on them, aren't you?
Yeah, I think we listened to the manager. To be fair, he done a really good job to explain us how to press them, and we just have to listen to them. And
yeah, Ollie. Well, you know who you're playing in the next round, West Brom.
Yeah.
How will you approach that one? How excited are you?
Yeah, we're all excited, but we've just got to take game by game, play like we did today, and we'll give them a good game.
And yeah, go on. Sorry.
Did you have any sneaky conversations with each other about West Brom? Can you imagine playing at West Brom?
Well, we did, to be fair, but well, we had to get the job done.
Confident. We are in the good run, so we'll go there and win the game.
Yeah.
I like that.
You've played under Tommy before, obviously at Kings Lynn. So coming here, you know, is it exactly the same as it was as King Lynn? Is he still getting the same message across to the boys here?
Yeah, he is, to be fair, and I had 2 years with him and I know exactly how he works, so it's just, I'm buzzing to be here with him and just work together.
That's the winning goal scorer, Ollie Scott, on BBC Radio Manchester, alongside man of the match, Laurent Tallage. Interesting listening to that, Stephen O'Halloran, and whether you agree or not, was it good game management from Aldershot? Was it the fact that they managed to press well and kept, limited Stockport to probably not half as many chances as they thought they were going to get?
Yeah, I think the two players there, credit to them, they were outstanding tonight, especially Tallage. He looked a threat all night. He was a handful against Fraser Horsfall, who's one of the best players from a defending point of view in League Two. So yeah, they did frustrate County. You could see that on the pitch. They limited County's chances. Yes, there was a couple of half chances in the first half. Obviously, a goal ruled out through Tanto Olafe, but I can't remember County making an open chance in the second half, which is really going to frustrate the County faithful and of course the County manager Dave Challoner.
Phone lines are open if you want to have your say. 0800 218 2255. We say good evening to Russ. Russ is a County fan. Russ, how are you feeling right now?
Bit gutted, to be fair. Bit gutted that we're out, but fair play to Aldershot. They came and limited us, like you say, and we'll say bare bones. But the worrying thing now for us is that's the 11 that we've got. That's our strongest 11 going into the Christmas period. So yeah, but slightly worried, I'll be honest.
Yeah, Steve, this is what we were saying, isn't it? That Dave Challoner didn't weaken this side in any particular way. I know Stockport County have their injury issues at the minute, but that side should be beating Aldershot.
Yeah, when you look at the difference in league tables, obviously conference, Aldershot are doing very well in their league, but County are top of League Two and looking for promotion to League One. So these are the games that maybe from a fan point of view you'd be expecting to win and go on and play teams like West Brom in the future. So I think it is a bit of a frustrating period, but again, like Russ alluded to there, from a goal scoring point of view, we didn't really have many chances, and if this is our best 11 at the minute, I think the boys will need to have a chat with themselves this week and regroup before the weekend.
6 without a win now, Russ. 3 losses 3 defeats. This is on the back of a 12-game winning run in League Two. How much of Stockport County in crisis are we on a scale of 1 to 10 here?
I wouldn't say crisis at all. I think it's part of the game that you've got to deal with injuries. We've got a really good squad depth. I think if we haven't had that squad depth to start with, we would be in a real mess. But I think what we've got to do is nurse ourselves to January. And even Charlie said in his pre-match for this game, he'll try and move bodies on and try and get bodies in. So try and make it look a bit different, just to overcome those long-term injuries, because they're massive, aren't they? Sars, Barry, Collar, and then Hippo, I think, is out for a long time as well. So I wouldn't say crisis. I am starting to get worried, though. I'll be honest with you. I came on your show a couple of weeks ago and said, I'm not worried at all after 3, I think it was. But tonight, we didn't see anything at all. And fair play to Aldershot, all credit to Aldershot. But from our perspective, I think Steve said it before, we didn't have a shot on target in the second half. It certainly felt like that. So yeah, not great.
Are you less bothered because you know the league is bread and butter this season? That cut run would have been nice, great trip to the Hawthorns would have been nice, whatever. But it is getting out of League Two this time.
It is, but the FA Cup's massive. It's the FA Cup, isn't it? We're not gonna downgrade that just for the league. I mean, it's an institute. So, no, I'm personally gutted about the FA Cup because it's always been good to us and it's huge. So, no, obviously you do prioritise the league, but definitely not. I'm definitely still gutted about going out of the FA Cup.
If tonight Steve O'Halloran was a great chance to get that W on the list, that win after 5 without defeat. Obviously that's not going to happen now. They take on bottom side Sutton on Saturday. That is now must win, isn't it? For the sake of they've got a 6-point gap at the top of League Two. For the sake of confidence.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth there, Mike. I was going to say it's about confidence now coming into this spell because, after being on such a high with 12 wins in a row, you think there's nothing going to stop us. And now this blip has happened and we've had some key players injured. It's about a lot of these kind of senior players that have been here and done it. Paddy Madden, you're looking at kind of Camps, you're looking at Colin Watton up front. You want these guys to step up now and support the team around them and get County, like Russ said, maybe get them through this period, or maybe that's downplaying it a bit. But yeah, I think coming into the weekend, a win for confidence is massive.
Russ, it was interesting. I think Steve can probably remind me of the players Alex was just mentioning then. There was about 3 players at some point in the second half with quarter of an hour to go that had a little conference and needed to drag themselves out. Paddy Madden was one, Stephen. Who were the others?
No, I look. Alex said there, Paddy Madden, Camps, and I think it was the 3 boys that we just mentioned.
Yeah.
They were just having to go, but I think that's because they have standards. These are players that have got promoted. These are players that have won championships. These are players that that you'd want maybe demanding more from each other. So as a player side of it, I don't mind seeing that. It's then just looking at then how you translate that into your performance and obviously into your play then going forward.
Well, that's the point, Russ, isn't it? You need to see leadership out there, and you want to see players grab difficult games by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah, absolutely, and you want the players that are coming in for the injured players to take their chance as well. Been really disappointed with that. The one that I'm really disappointed in is Ibu Toure, because I think he was in League 2 Team of the Year last season. He's just not, for whatever reason, he's just not done it for us, and today sort of epitomised that.
Well, he had it, from what I'll admit to not watching every Stockport game this season, but at Stockport at Salford he had a specific role. You knew he was the left back that would get forward.
Yeah.
But from what I understand at Stockport, sometimes he's left centre back of a back 3, sometimes he is part of a back 4. It's that kind of not quite knowing what his role is at Stockport.
Potentially, but he's played at left back.
Yeah.
A lot of times. Yeah. So I would expect, and I don't think it's unjust. I would expect him to perform like a leading League 2 left back. And today, and I think the only good game I think we've seen him have in that position is MK Dons away, which he was brilliant at, to be fair. But today against a lesser opposition, the 2 lads up front gave Fraser a really hard time, and they were all over the place. But still massively disappointed with him, and he never looks to go forward. He always checks and comes back and doesn't try to beat his man, which is what we expected we were signing.
Which is, the opposite of what he was doing at Salford. He never was afraid to take players on. Stephen, is that a fair analysis of what you've seen tonight?
Yeah, look, I'm not disagreeing with Russ there. I think, because of the calibre of the player he is, he's an international, he's been in League Two Team of the Years, you do expect that. And I do think it's as a player of his quality, playing left centre-half or left back, it should be no problem for him because he knows the structure and he knows the way Dave Challoner wants to play. What I will say tonight is he showed flashes. He showed maybe in the last 10-15 minutes of the first half, him, Bailey, Camps, they were getting on the ball, they were getting a bit of joy down this left. And the frustrating thing from a county fan point of view would be that they didn't carry that on in the second half. I don't think he got many crosses in the second half when he looked like he was, causing a threat the last 10-15 minutes of the first half. So from that point of view, yes, I can totally agree. From a fan's point of view, it can be disappointing seeing that. Yeah,
Russ, I don't know whether you heard our conversation at half time, but that was exactly it. With me and Stephen, where I said, the half-time whistles come at the right time for Aldershot. It came at the wrong time for Stockport, but they needed that quick start in the second half, Russ, and they didn't get that. Are you still there, Russ? Russ, can you hear us? It seems like we might have lost Russ. But that's the point, Stephen. They never got that quick start to the second half that Stockport needed.
Yeah, like you summed it up there. The half-time whistle came for Aldershot at the right time and not for County, and they just never kind of kicked on from that then as well. You were hoping after a kind of very quiet start to the second half that the changes that Dave Challoner made with Richardson and with Ackleroyd during the second half would kickstart a County kind of resurgence. And again, there wasn't much kind of from that point of view either, which is frustrating, I can imagine, from a lot of the fans' point of view. But the main thing is, like you were alluding to earlier, is how they bounce back. You'd hope that Dave Challoner will be having a word with his players tonight about how to pick themselves up. You'd be hoping a couple of the senior players will be then getting their arms around the younger players and say, come on, you need to do more, we need to do more as a team.
Let's just bring you some of the full times that are coming in the Champions League as well. Earlier tonight in your first Total Sport commentary, Manchester City beat Red Star Belgrade 3 goals to 2. They were already top of the group, already confirmed through to the last 16. Red Star already going to finish bottom, but there were debut goals for Micah Hamilton, Oscar Bob, and a first goal in a Manchester City shirt for Calvin Phillips as well. Leipzig beat Young Boys 2-1 in the other game in that group. Leipzig confirmed as runners-up there. So what's gone on in the 8 o'clock kickoffs? Well, sad news for Newcastle. They did lead 1-0 against AC Milan, but they have crashed out. They've lost 2-1 tonight. That coupled with PSG and Dortmund drawing 1 apiece means that Newcastle are out of the Champions League. They finish bottom of their group, which will be a real sickener to many of their fans tonight. Newcastle did give that group a good go. Dortmund win the group. PSG come runners-up. So that will mean that potentially Manchester City could meet PSG in the next round. Celtic won their final group game 2-1. They were already confirmed as out and bottom of the group, though. They beat Feyenoord 2-1. Atletico Madrid beat Lazio 2-0. That confirms Atletico as winners of that group, and Lazio as runners-up. They too could face Manchester City. And in the other group tonight, Barcelona lost at Antwerp 3-2. Antwerp's first win in the Champions League in the final round of group stage matches, but Porto, despite beating Shakhtar 5-3, still finish as runners-up. So Barcelona win the group and Porto finish second. Just a quick answer again. We've got time to head back to Edgeley Park and speak to Steve O'Halloran, who's been part of our team tonight on BBC Radio Manchester and 5 Sports Extra. It is about regrouping now. They've only got a short turnaround. Is that good or bad in your eyes, Stephen, in terms of they can get it out of their system quickly within 3 days when they face Sutton?
Yeah, no, it's massive. If you're going home tonight as a county player, you'll obviously reflect and be disappointed. But then it's about how then you prepare for such a massive game. And yes, it is a massive game. I know it's against bottom of the league, but then that's obviously when you need to then bounce back as a team. And I think, Dave Challoner will have the boys in the next few days. He'll be talking about the tactics for Sutton. He'll be talking about what way he'll want them to play and trying to get them going again for that, because it is about how they kind of regroup and look to progress over this busy Christmas period.
Stephen, as always, brilliant to have you with us on BBC Radio Manchester. Thanks for being part of our coverage tonight. I know you didn't get the result you wanted, but I hope you've enjoyed yourself.
No, thanks very much for having me, Mike. I'll speak to you soon.
You will do. Steve O'Halloran there, the former Stockport County player then, and the night that Stockport County lose and crash out of the FA Cup in an upset. They've been beaten by National League side Aldershot here on BBC Radio Manchester. Earlier we brought you commentary of Manchester City's 3-2 win over Red Star Belgrade. Total Sport is back with you on Saturday from 2 o'clock when we'll have commentary of Manchester City against Crystal Palace in the Premier League, live from the Etihad Stadium on that one, and reports then of Stockport. Can they bounce back against Sutton United? You'll find out here on BBC Radio Manchester. All the reaction to tonight's games in Anna at breakfast tomorrow morning, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30 with Mark Crossley. Late Night Becky is after the news at 10 o'clock. Good night.
From the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker,
play BBC Radio Manchester,
and on your radio.
The sound of Manchester is
BBC Radio Manchester.
At 10 with the BBC News, I'm Anna Preston. The UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has welcomed the COP28 Climate Summit agreement on transitioning away from fossil fuels. The deal also called for a tripling of the use of renewable energy. But small island nations, which face the most immediate risks from climate change, say it doesn't do enough to protect them, particularly from rising sea levels. Mark Campanale, founder of the independent think tank The Carbon Tracker Initiative, was at the summit.
I'm positive. I'm more half glass full. It's not what everyone was asking for, but the key thing is that fossil fuels were really at the heart of the discussions leading up into the COP, in the discussions of the COP, and now looking back, I think we can say that this is probably a key changing, a pivotal moment.
Police have released CCTV footage showing the last known movements of a missing woman in Norwich. 55-year-old Gaynor Lord was reported missing after failing to return home from work on Friday afternoon. Footage shows her through the city centre carrying her coat and handbag. Specialist underwater teams from Lincolnshire Police have been assisting in a search of water near a park where her possessions were found. The parents of murdered Merseyside toddler James Bolger say they're relieved after the parole board decided not to free his killer from jail. Panels found 41-year-old John Venables, who tortured and murdered James in 1993, still poses a danger to children. The Home Office's top official has revealed that more than £22 million of taxpayers' money is being spent on the Bibby Stockholm Asylum accommodation barge. Ministers say using the vessel, which is moored at Portland in Dorset, is undoubtedly cheaper than hotels. Scientists say they've discovered why some women become so sick during pregnancy that it can, in extreme cases, threaten the baby and the mother's life. Researchers say it could one day mean that no one feels nauseous during pregnancy. Our reporter has more.
The Princess of Wales is the most famous person to have suffered from extreme pregnancy sickness, known as hyperemesis gravidarum. But it affects around 30,000 people in the UK every year and puts both the mother and baby at risk. This research by the universities of Cambridge, Glasgow and Edinburgh, as well as some from the USA and Sri Lanka, found out that the fetus produces a hormone called GDF15 as it grows. This goes into the mother's bloodstream and up to their brain, causing them to feel nauseous and ill.
Laura Foster reporting. And couriers are working around the clock on the Isles of Scilly to deliver a backlog of Christmas parcels. A freight ship carrying the parcels was unable to sail for nearly a week because of rough seas. You're up to date. It's 3 minutes past 10.